Cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers. Happy Thursday, May 19th to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. I'm pumped up. I got some rest last night. Made a big bet on the White Sox to win the division this morning. Feel good. Now, it wasn't all glory yesterday, though. You may feel my energy and think it was all glory last night. It was not. There was good and bad. The bad will start with 2-5 in MLB. Fell apart late on my card, and some of the losses. The last day that I was here before the break was an ugly day, a 1-4 day, and then a 2-5 day to come back. So a back-to-back ugliness in MLB, and now my record is not nearly as bad as my low water mark, but now we're back down double-digit units, and I'm upset. What helped my anger was sweeping the board in NHL and doing it very easily. And the only reason why I swept the board was because I listened to our first guest, Mr. Gogster's thoughts on both teams to score in the first period in Calgary, Edmonton, and that took me off the first period under 1.5, which would have lost in about 2.5 minutes. Or no, in 1 minute. In the first minute of the game, I would have lost that bet. So I thanked Mr. Gogster over and over again while I was high-fiving my family. So swept the board in NHL. And the playoff record looks pretty nice. MLB record does not. NBA record's up double digits. Overall, I'm pumped up because the Preakness is 48 hours away. The Preakness in Baltimore, Charm City, baby, Pimlico Racetrack, abandoned most of the year. Just left for vagrants 350 days of the year. Also, check the new start time, 10:15 a.m. I don't know why HBI said 12. I looked at last year's thumbnail, and I was like, of course, last year it started at 10:15 a.m. Why would it start now? So, yes, we're going to be up bright and early. 7:15 a.m. for you on the West Coast. We'll be hammering races here all day and night. Gorgeous card. Got Woodbine, Belmont, Gulfstream, Churchill, Santa Anita, Golden Gate, and we have to make up for losses. And I think Epicenter wins in his sleep. Well, it's not a big call when you're taking a horse that's going to be even money. So how do we make money off of it? Single them, pick threes, pick fours, pick fives, pick sixes. But yeah, and I want everybody to fall in love with the Philly. And think about all the Phillies that have won the Preakness in the last few years. And think about Rachel Alexandra and Wax Poetic and Bet the Philly, because she's a special Philly who we all had in the Kentucky Oaks. I want everybody to fall in love with the Philly. And I want everybody to fall in love with the speed numbers that were given at the Wood Memorial. All right! God, I feel good. Feels good to be alive. Roger that. What up in the house? Bob Taylor. Bob Taylor says, check your Twitter DMs. Okay, I will do that. I will do that here during the show. There is Turnsy in the house. Great to see you, Turnsy, my guy. Jeffrey Moore says, Twins run line was money for me yesterday. One of the reasons why I wasn't too angry about the MLB was that I just bet it poorly. We sniffed out that Pavetta was going to have a great start, and Jose and I waxed poetic on it, but didn't bet the Red Sox. The Omicron variant did bet the Red Sox and cashed very nicely there.
I tailed Omer. No, that was Lucas Giolito in the whatchamacallits. He was on the Royals. But actual Seamus, and I bet the Red Sox. So shout out to Seamus.
Yes. Shout out to Seamus, aka Piker, aka the Omicron variant, aka the 45th president of the United States of America.
Whoa. Those are all different people, Jimmy.
Oh.
We made that very clear yesterday. Seamus is absolutely not the Omicron, and 100% not our 45th president.
Okay. All right. That's news, but I respect that very much. Johnny Gonzalez in the house. AOD. Ready to eat. We have a great show today also. We have Mr. Gogster starting us off in NHL. We have the Big Ragoo for the 8-game MLB slate. And then we have Dutch Boy Fresh for the NBA game. A lot of fun. There is Nut Flush Allen in the house. Yesterday celebrated the birthday of his son, great kid Caden. There's Spud ready to get to work. Mike M says, what up, Jimmy, in the chat? Huge bangers catch yesterday. Rangers at plus 350. Twins minus 3 plus 175. Warriors ladder up to 10.5. Gorgeous. Rangers plus 1.5 hits again. That was a heartbreaking loss for that Rangers squad. Ooh, they're in big big trouble. Mark Schillingberg says, "What up, low bag?" Oh, a horrible stamp. Don't like seeing that. Okay. We'll get going. We'll get rolling. We'll get rolling, Mark. I've said, it ebbs and flows. Dennis Garcia says, "Oh, look, the Flames go from playing disciplined Dallas to playing CC Barry, those ratted defenders, and all of a sudden they score 9 goals. I am sure that made you very happy." Oh, Von Polo will be at the Preakness. Oh, dope, Von Polo. Oh, that's so dope. So dope. I love it. You got it. Oh, do live tweets and stuff, and come to us live. If you can come to us live, we can't have like the races in the background. There's a couple things we can't have. I'll figure out what we can have in the background, but we'd love some live peeks at the Preakness from Von Polo on site. Nilo in the house. Great to see you, my guy. Jay Peasy for Sheezy. Viper. Kyle Hintley. Victory in game 1. PNC was electric. I imagine it was. Viper says, "I hate Pavetta, and I will fade him next game. No fear." All right. Okay. JRTD, there's Big Ragoo ready to rock with us. We should be ready for Big Ragoo in 22 minutes, I imagine, around 11:30, 11:35. Sammy Calmer ready to go. It was great. It was a really fun breakdown of the Flames games because I had not realized until breaking it down with you guys that the same thing happened in 1989 and the same thing happened in 2004. That they scored in overtime of Game 7 in the first round against teams they were supposed to beat. I had not realized that. And then when I did, I was like, oh, the Flames are going to run over the Oilers. They're going to heat up. And that was all us working together. Dabby Cab in the house. Great group. There's Nasty Nate ready to get to work. Cornhole champ. Spenny Penny Bums. Slatsy 5-1 in NHL last night, says Mike Smith, our personal ATM machine. Look at this. Unspotted Music. That's a new name that I see in the chat. It's best sports betting show on YouTube, hands down. Love it, Bag. Love it. Thank you, Unspotted Music. We work together to defeat the juice, and we will sell you nothing ever. Zilch. Nothing. We just want to win together. Nasty Nate on the Celtics trifecta. What wild market movement in that game. So, we know Smart's going to be back. No Horford. And then the line goes from 5 to 3.5. Very, very interesting. Spenny said had Carolina in regulation yesterday. That sucked, but Calgary team total over 3 and 4 in the second period. What a game. That was wild stuff. There's Clint, started the Die Hard MMA podcast. His Flames Oilers game was insane. Jumped in live on the under thinking they couldn't get scored. Yeah, I know. I was thankful that I was just thankful that I listened to Gogster. As Mr. Pistol Pete Loshak taught us, listen. And here's Jeffrey Moore. So I hope you all listened when I said Astros have tendency to blunts games after a spectacular showing. Steph Brosco said Flames made me realize they cannot be trusted. Interesting. There's my guy Robert Cherry, aka Officer 50 Ayash Yala in the house. Steph Brosco. All right, it's time to get to work. Time to get Derek White. Well, Marcus Smart's back, so maybe that's not that big of a deal. And
Wife's
the line
pregnant.
is not moved. Sorry?
Wife's pregnant, apparently. So
yeah, but you're in the Eastern Conference Finals.
I was shocked at the decision too.
Which family is more important to you? The family that helps you make multiple $1 million a year, or your actual family? Does your wife have somebody else that can be there for her? Is her mom going to be there? Does she have a mom and dad? Maybe she doesn't. If she doesn't have anybody, then yes, Derek White should be there. But if your wife has somebody that can be there, you best be on the court. But I'll have to let that go. But if I wonder what Nasty Nate thinks. Let's hear tried and true Celtics fans hear what he thinks of that. All right, it is time to get to work. Love you guys. Kyle Hintley says socks and milk today. You know what I did today? Now Kyle Hintley makes real big boy bets. To me, I made a big boy bet for me today. $500 White Sox to win the division minus 140. That is a big boy bet for me. Now futures, you can bet a lot more. Especially when you have local and you work with credit and whatever. But I'm pumped up. I'm very, 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 very pumped up. Rich, ready to talk NHL? Let's go. Max Swelly says, I took a Kerber today. Okay. Oh, talking tennis. Okay. And Billy Freed says, does she have a doctor? Yes. Yes, that's a very important question. If she doesn't have a doctor, then he should be there. Very, very good point. Okay, let's get to work. Coming off a great day in NHL, Gogster cashed to both teams to score at plus 150, and he was extremely unlucky to not cash the first period. First 9.5 minutes, no goal in a game where there was only one goal scored in the first 57 minutes. He was unlucky on that. He should have swept the board with me. We should have both swept the board, but he still had a winning day nonetheless. Please welcome to the show from Belleville, Ontario, Mr. Gogster in the house. Gogster, what's happening?
How we doing, guys? Welcome. Thank you for having me in, Jim. I was going to say welcome in like it's my show. I'm drunk still. Thanks for having me on there, Jimmy. Appreciate it. Yeah, I was talking to some guys here at work. Just unlucky there. The fact I had that no goal in the first 9 minutes, trying to get a little too cute. You know, I really got to stop doing these. I think no goals, 9 minutes, 30 seconds. If you like an under, you know, like you always say, Jimmy, why not take 60 minutes? So just something to put in the notes in the record book. So anyways, I think it's a great opportunity today, guys. I got some player props, Jimmy. I don't usually do player props, but I did some deep research, and I think we got some good angles here today, guys.
I'm looking forward to it. I did usually with only 8 games on the MLB slate, I had a little bit of time this morning. I had breakfast. I made a $500 bet on the White Sox to win the division. I had a little bit of extra time, and I did see your action. So I did see, and I tweeted it out. So, yeah, Brian, that's very questionable. And we will talk with Dutch Boy Fresh about that, but very questionable from Derek White. I wonder what my girlfriend would say. I wonder what she would say. I don't know. I honestly don't know what she would say.
Well, I think everybody's right. Is there a doctor? Does she have a family? Or does she have a family? All these things. Because if one of those are missing, guys, well, then, yeah, Mr. White should be there. But if all of those are there, I agree. Why the fuck are you not at the game? It's a fucking Eastern Conference game, bud. Let's go.
Respectfully, Derek White's been asked, so maybe it's okay. Maybe it's okay.
All right.
Yeah. Well,
I say we leave it at that.
Yeah, let's leave it at that. Let's get into NHL. We're feeling good. We got great cappers in the chat. Slatsy, Richie, Rich, NHL cappers that continue to cash. Mike M, Kyle Hindley, and Mike M says Florida OT plus 355, Tampa regulation plus a half minus 125. Blues for the big score plus 275 today. Let's go. I can't wait to talk about these games. I'm loving every second of playoff hockey, more than I can remember, actually, to be honest with you, Gogster. I find this hockey so exhilarating to watch. Let's get right to work. We start with the East second round, game 2, Tampa Bay up 1-2-0. Tampa Bay Lightning 51-23-8 in the regular season. We're a good road team, 24-15-2. You know, I felt like they underwhelmed so much in the playoff or in the regular season. And even when Slatsy and I moved on them in the futures market, they looked awful afterwards. I mean, they didn't step up at all afterwards. So I'm almost surprised they were 51-23-8 this year. Panthers were 58-18-6 this year, 34-7 at home. And they have lost, I read it, but I believe they've lost the first game of their last 7 playoff series.
Jesus.
The first game. And they did it again here.
Big game for Florida here. Huge.
Enormous game for Florida. And a couple stats that jumped out at me that surprised me. One, Vasilevsky, 2.79 goals against average, 907 save percentage. He's been so good in the last 2 games. I didn't realize how bad he'd been leading up to these last 2 games. And maybe bad, or however you want to say it.
He's looking like Vasilevsky of the last couple of years in the playoffs now, yeah.
He sure is. Then you have Bobrovsky, who has worse numbers than Vasilevsky so far in the playoffs, 2.98 goals against average, 903 save percentage. So you have the Lightning hitting at 25.6% on the power play, 87.1% on the penalty killing. The power play is going to slow down without Braden Point. A lot of things are going to slow down for the Lightning offense without Braden Point. Then you have the most important number for the Florida Panthers, and that's the 0% on the power play. So they are 0 for, 21. 0 for 21 on the power play. And that gets in your head.
They got to find it. Sorry, Jim, go ahead.
No, jump in.
They should find ways to get the puck through the net. They Tampa Bay, they can't get the puck through the net. Same with Washington. You know, these veteran teams, man, they know how to just just stop the puck from getting to the goalie. That's the whole point of, you can't get the puck in the back of the net. And Tampa Bay are so goddamn good, especially on the penalty kill, at putting bodies in front of Vasilevsky. And that guy's like the Michelin man, as one of my guys like to say. He's like the fucking Michelin man in net, Vasilevsky. So, yeah.
We have Bob Taylor saying that you look exactly like Max Fried. So we're going to see if Jose can pull up a picture of Max Fried over the next 20 minutes while we are here.
I do golf left-handed for what that's worth, so I'm somewhat of a lefty.
It's worth nothing.
I will say that I have gotten several DMs recently, and I forgot to do it recently. I've got Max Fried. Let me pull them up. Gogster also looks like that was Bob Taylor that told me. He looks like a golfer, apparently someone else. I forgot what he looks like now. But Gogster, you have a lot of lookalikes. I will tell you that. I've got several DMs
Not
about
the first time I've heard that, Jose. No.
Well, we'll throw them up here later, but let's focus on making money here. We'll throw them up.
Jail one time, I looked like the criminal that was on the. Anyways.
Yeah, and I'm sure you'd look just like that. Red girl in the house. Slappy says Panthers showed us nothing in the first game, just like first round. They bounced back first Cavs in game 2, but these prices are crazy. Tampa or nothing, lead to the under. What's crazy to me is that this total opened at 6.5 and was juiced to the over. I mean, that's just nuts to me. Yeah. Who is okay? So then I was like, okay. So of course I bet the under 6.5 minus 105, just a regular unit size, which is $20 in the playoffs, up from the 150 that I cut it to after the Christmas holidays. So how could I lose this bet? All right, how can I lose this bet? Well, the only way I could lose this bet, because we see the way the Tampa Bay Lightning are playing. They're clogging all the holes. They don't look like they're capable of scoring 4 goals or 5 goals in the game, even though they come off a 4-1 victory. But that was,
for period they exploded. Yeah.
I do not think that they're capable of putting up a lot of goals without Braden Point. I don't, in the way they're playing right now. So the only way is if the Panthers explode. Score a few power play goals and the Lightning just let go and wait to get home. That's the only way. So I was like, how is this possible? How is this possible? So right now, the 6.5 is a pick 'em. It's just shocking to me. Absolutely shocking. So let's talk about a couple things here, and then we'll hand it over. So I moved on the under 6.5 for minus 105. So let's just talk about a couple things, and we'll hand it over to Remo says the audio is choppy. Let me know if anybody else feels like the audio is choppy here. Yeah, they're saying YouTube is tripping. Okay.
Wake up, YouTube.
Let me know if that is happening here. So Florida, so the Lightning 4-1 win in Florida. Kucherov, Perry, goal and assist. Bellemare looked great out there. Nick Paul's moved up to the second line. You see everybody stepping up. Richie Rich says Florida line today is appropriate. Vasilevsky makes 33 saves. Tampa blocked 16 shots.
Exactly.
16 shots, 4 of them by McDonough. Florida Panthers last year were down 2-0 to the Tampa Bay Lightning. What happened? Cernak, and the decision has been made by the Lightning to have a 7th defenseman instead of having 12 forwards. So here, in all honesty, I have no idea. I was certain I was going to see a 6. I was like, okay, I wonder what this 6 will be at. In the 6.5.
That's what I wrote down too. I was actually on the other side at first, but the more I think about it, I like the under. Vasilevsky, you're right. He's looked too good. The one thing that scared me, Jim, was expected goals. Expected goals from Tampa last game was 4.85. Florida was 3.49. So despite without point, they still were having great opportunities. And it's kind of, you look at the lineup, 2 guys from Tampa Bay, Killorn, Palat, Paul, Hagel, Colton, Perry, Maroon, Belmar, and Ruda. The total at 6.5, I do like that to the under. At 6, I would probably stay off it. But I do think Florida gets it done. Yeah, they just, like you said, last year they played the same situation and they were down 2-0, 5-4, 3-1, winning the third game, then losing the next, losing game 4, winning game 5, then losing game 6. So they just, it would be a really bad spot to go back to Tampa Bay. I don't want to put too much of that into this equation, but I think guys like Barkov, where's Barkov been? He's had 2 goals, 4 assists. For Haggis look really good on that line, but I expect Barkov, he's the heart and soul of that team. When he gets her going, it's like a ball rolling downhill. So if they can get a couple by just getting by Vasilevsky, he's getting the puck more so through these damn defenders. And and not shooting stupid shots where you're getting blocked and then you're on your heels coming back. They gotta just I don't know what it is. I don't have that. I'm not their coach, but I think if they can get some more pucks through, they should be fine. Put some more pressure on Vasilevsky, because the offense for Tampa Bay, Florida's got them outnumbered for sure. For sure, it's just the goaltending situation. That I found it at there, Jimmy. So I think that's a great number. He's got 12 points in 7 games now. So the guy's been money. I think that number is really generous. So for Heggie to score a point on the same line as Barkov, and Barkov to score 2 points at plus 146, I got that number at.
Interesting. So let's just go over. So we're sorry, you guys, about what's going on with YouTube right now.
Copy.
Yeah. Okay. Remo says better now. We're just going to keep hammering through. But if you could let us know if it is getting better, that would, we would be very, very pleased here. But we're just going to keep our heads down and fire through. So Barkov, 2 points. So if you get to 2 points, that's a casher.
Yeah, he can get 2 assists. He can get a goal and assist. Doesn't matter how he does it, guys. Power play. If this team's going to win this game, score some points, it's going to start with him, Huberdeau, and Verhaeghe and such. So, yeah, I love that one.
Barkov with at least 2 points at plus 146, Florida in regulation, and then you added Verhaeghe, who was exceptional in that first round series. So, look, I can see it 2 different ways. I can see what Richie Rich is saying. This is a Florida Panthers spot. They bounce back like they did in the Capital Series. They fire away, and Tampa, let's go. I can see that happening. But I can also, it wouldn't shock me if what happens is what our man Rodney Barton's saying. Lightning will dog them again, just like last game, and just like last season when Lightning went up 2-0. So because of both of those being a possibility, I'm very comfortable just taking the under 6.5. And I think the only way I lose this is if Florida explodes. So then I guess you would say, well, would you look at the Lightning team total under? And yeah, I would look at the Lightning team total under. I think that would be the only way, that other option. The problem is they're not the favorite in this game. So you're not going to get that price that you're looking for. But under 2.5 is plus 125.
I think you picked that just by listening to the breakdown. I was talking about the lines from Tampa Bay. I like that. It's one of the best goalies in the last 3 years, Vasilevsky. How they're going to win this game, it's going to be a low-scoring game. And even if they win, it's going to be a low-scoring game. And even if they lose, 3 goals, is that going to happen? Yeah. I don't mind that, Jimmy. I think the total, the more you talk about it, that's probably the stronger feel. I'm still going to trust these Florida Panthers and Stanley C, the mascot. Yeah, I'm going down. I don't want to say going down with Florida, because last time I said I'm going down with the team, that was Toronto, and we all know how that went. So, yeah, I'm going to rock with Florida. But I think you're right, Jimmy. The total, if Tampa does win this game or lose this game, 3 goals is more likely than not. At plus 125, there's some value there.
Yeah, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to double up or triple up here in this spot. I'm just going to take the under 6.5 and minus 105. That's my only look. We've heard from Mr. Gogster, excuse me, taking Florida in regulation, and also moving on the Verhaeghe and Barkov player points props. All right, let's move on to game 2. And thank you guys for sticking with us through the YouTube issues. And Richie Rich is safe and simple. Florida money line, lay the juice. Regulation will hit, though, he says. Okay. Oh, shit. Okay. Damn. So we just had a cancellation mid-show from Dutch. Okay. Okay. Let's stay focused here. I'll figure out that here as we go. So under 6.5 and minus 105. Let's move on to the second game. West second round, game 2. Colorado up 1-0. Blues at Avalanche. We're at Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado. We didn't really talk about the market movement in the Lightning game. We should probably just touch on it quickly. It's moved 5 cents towards the Panthers. That's it, 5 cents. And the total has moved 5 cents towards the under. That's it there. So let's move on to the
quick thing here. Quick thing,
Sure.
Jim. Billy Friedrichs, he's taken Bolts money line full game under and Florida team total under 3.5. That's I could see that. I could see that angle. I really could see that angle. Billy, I really think Florida's gonna get her done here. They could even win this game though, 3-1, 3-2. You could hit 2 of those bets right there, buddy. So I completely agree. And 62% of the line says 62% to win this game. Yeah, it should more likely than not be about a -130. So just good points from him.
Yeah, Billy. I look. The line says Panthers 62% favorite to win this game. I just think it's saying that situationally the spot is very nice for Florida, but I love it. I love it. And the DX Filer making his moves here says he's on Avalanche -0.5 in regulation -140. Avalanche -1.5 puck line +105. Colorado team total over 3.5 -125. And he's all over the Avs. And he says Binnington is in for a long night. He certainly was spectacular. He was certainly spectacular in game 1. Now, there was posts and crossbars. I'm going to copy and paste my man DX Filer's action. Thank you for sharing it with us. Let's talk about
saves. 51 saves, eh?
He was excellent. In Colorado, they open up at -240. They initially go to -245. They're now -235. And the Blues are a dangerous hockey team. I think that's too big of a favorite for the Avalanche, but I've got Avalanche futures, and I want it to continue happening, going the way it is. 6.5 is the total. Open up -125 to the over. It's now at -130. Now at -130. Jeffrey Moore says under in the Tampa game, over in the Avs game. Mike M says Blues after OT, 5-0, covered puck line, 6-0 last 6 after OT. Give me a shot on these Blues. Great price. I agree. The price is very nice. Richie Rich is St. Louis, Colorado, massive over 6.5. Only shot St. Louis has is to throw rubber at the net. Binnington was not very good this year in the regular season, and he lost his job. He went 18-14-4, 3.13 goals against average, 901 save percentage, 2 shutouts. In the playoffs, though, he's been excellent. 3-1, 1.94 goals against average, 944 save percentage. Impressive. Darcy Kemper, 3 playoff games under his belt so far this year, and he's been very good. Followed up with the second half, 1.67 goals against average, 930 save percentage. The Blues power play in the playoffs is at 33.2%, penalty killing 85.2%. The Avs power play 36.8%. Both teams have lethal power plays, and the Avs penalty killing in the playoffs hasn't been very good, 71.4%. The Avs put 54 shots on net, 54, 3 posts and 2 crossbars, and they squeaked out an overtime win. St. Louis has lost 8 straight playoff games to the Avs since back to 2001. They've lost 3 in a row to them overall this year. The Avalanche outshot the Blues 13-0 in overtime. St. Louis still missing Scandella and Krug. So Krug's been out since game 3 of the first round. Scandella out since game 4. And Girard got banged up. He was got X-rays. They say he is good to go.
Yeah, I don't see him on the injury report.
With all that being said, I think the Blues are extremely dangerous hockey team. And I think the Avalanche are the best team in the NHL. But I'm going to make sure that I put out how dangerous these guys are. And when I see the Blues at 28-1 right now to win the Stanley Cup, if you guys like the Blues to win game 2, I don't see why you don't put $50 on them to win the cup. Because if it's 1-1 going back to St. Louis, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
It's like beating the market. Yeah. I
have futures with a decent amount of money invested on the Avalanche. And I just want to sit back in this game and watch, because I don't like the price for the Avalanche. Billy Friedrich says Blues are plus 560 to win this series. Yeah, I don't. If the Blues win this game, they're very dangerous moving forward. And I don't know if I'd focus on just this game alone if I was backing the Blues. Sweaty Butcher in the house. What up, Sweaty Butcher? Take it away, Gogster. Blues Avs.
Well, Benner's going to need to be the best. He's got to be the best player on the team here if they're going to want to win. He's going to have to stand on his head again if they want to win this game, because Colorado's not letting up. And if St. Louis is missing a couple more of their D-men, it's not going to get any better. They're going to have to need to keep scoring. They're up 1-0. They kind of fell off in the second and third period. They're going to have to do the same thing. Come out early. I don't know if that's going to happen necessarily. I actually have my play there's kind of against that. But I think St. Louis, they need to keep the pedal to the metal. They need to get up not 1-0, more so like a 3-0, 3-1. They got to get up. But the thing is, you can't stand on your heels with this Colorado team. You really can't. You got to put the pressure to them, especially if you're on the road. Colorado Avalanche, the Avalanche is the best way to describe this hockey team, Jim, because when they're going downhill, it's literally an avalanche coming at you. Get out of the way. Binnington, he's got the playoff experience. He's looked really, you know what? Binnington's looking like Binnington. Just been a couple games, but he's looking like the Benner I remember in the 2020 when they won the Stanley Cup there, Jimmy. So he's going to have to be the best player on their team. Now, Ryan O'Reilly, guys, he's scored 6. I had 6 goals in the last 6 goals in 7 games. He scored 6 of his last 7. Holy Christ, Jim. I'm all over the place. Let me try this again. All right, take 2. Action. Ryan O'Reilly has scored 6 times in 7 games. Only time he didn't score was in game 2, I believe it was, Jimmy. Him to score a point, guys, is only -115. You can take him to score a goal if you want. But if St. Louis is winning this game, Ryan O'Reilly you saw what he did last time. He got that goal in the first period for you guys. Our guy Babano, I know he cashed that first period. But Ryan O'Reilly, he's been absolutely unbelievable. He's heart and soul of this team. You can get him at -117, Jimmy, just to score a point. I have to take that. 4 goals in 3 games, too, I have here. Just playing unbelievable. And also on Manson coming over from Anaheim, guys. He's stepped up a lot of late. Great addition, fitting in just perfectly. Scored his first goal in the playoffs last time out. So they're getting good production from pretty much all their lines. Makar, Gerard, and company there. This is just a deadly team. Like I said, guys, it's like an avalanche when they're going downhill. What I'm going to do, though, I don't want to get too cute, but I'm going to do it again, Jim. No goal in the first 9 minutes, 30 seconds here. Reason being, St. Louis, the last thing they don't want to, they want to hard hit and they want to slow down. You got to beat up Colorado, slowly but surely beat up Colorado. As much as I came out of the top there, guys, saying they want to come out early, you can't get on your heels. You can't get comfortable with a lead. So, Jimmy, what I think is going to happen here is I think it's going to be a tighter start to this game, despite what we saw really last time. It wasn't a high-scoring game, but there was a goal. I think it was just one goal later on. I think it was in the last 15 minutes in the first. But I think there's going to be no goal in the first. Yeah, Billy's got it there right there, 165, even better than one I had at +150. Pace will be super fast in puck drop. I don't think St. Louis is going to want to. They're not going to want to get too fast paced. They're going to want to slow down, get the sticks through in the middle of the ice. They can't let Colorado get tape to tape passes. They're going to really just try to bog up the neutral zone there. That's exactly what I think they're going to do here. And I think Colorado is strong enough defensively to hold the fort. So I'm going to go no goal first 9 minutes, 30 seconds. Or actually, I think I tweeted out 10 minutes there, Jimmy.
You did 9:30.
Oh, did I? Okay. I tweeted 9:30. Okay, perfect. I got that at Bovada, by the way. And also Ryan O'Reilly to score a point, guys, -117. And I don't mind St. Louis winning this game. If they don't, more likely than not, they're done, because I do think Colorado can get one in St. Louis. But I really think this is going to be a slower start, despite the two offenses. Binnington, if they want to win St. Louis, he has to be the best player on the team. So that would lead me to I don't know about a full game under, Jim, but I do think early. I do.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned with it. I just St. Louis has to jump out. And they have to, and then that will, of course, against a team like the Avalanche, create odd man rushes the other way. So, yeah. Sorry, we're just dealing with a couple things here. I'll reach out to Wham. Wham, if you're listening right now, let us know if you can jump on for NBA. So here we go. We have Gogster in Riley, 1 point at -117, no goal first 9 minutes and 30 seconds. 9 minutes and 30 seconds at +150. And he's got 3 spots on the floor of the game. Barkov, at least 2 points at +146. He has Verhaeghe with 1 point, and that is at
Minus 138.
Minus 128. Minus 128. And then he's got the Panthers in regulation. The only bet I'm making in NHL tonight is the under 6.5 at minus 105 that I've already made in the first game. The Lightning Panthers. We're just ahead of the market because the market is trusting the Panthers offense from a season-long sample size, not the sample size of the last 2 weeks. And that's up to them. So there we go. Mr. Gogster, great work, my man. Look forward to having you back in action. Yes,
yeah, guys, absolutely. Yeah, can I be really quick here, Jimmy? A little PGA Championship going on there, guys. A little golf, a little talk here. I got some a six-pack. Check out our video there. Myself, I had a bunch of great guests there. Dubsy Anderson, Cam Stewart jumped on. We have Hovland, Cantlay, Lowry, Zalatoris, who's doing quite well right now. Also, I have, who was the other two? Kokrak and Norin. So check that out, guys. We do all sports there. We cover them all from top to bottom, soccer, golf, you name it. We got it all here at Pub Sports Radio. Jimmy, thank you so much for having me on. I'll catch you next week, guys.
Gogster, don't you forget, we also have your lookalike here, your cousin, Max Fried here. I think that actually does look a lot like him. And
he's got a red beard. I got a black beard.
No, I think you guys look pretty similar.
Gogster looks strung out though, and Fried
for
looks
sure.
harder.
That's the Belleville inside of him.
Yeah.
That's a strung out Belleville, and you can't get it.
Yeah. Ghost, I'm not putting any money in that guy's cup. I'm going right past him. I'm blowing right past that guy. Ghoster, great work. Much love, man. Taking 5 shots on today's card. Go get it, Mr. Gogster, and we will see you back in action next week. Oh, there he's gone. Sorry. There he is, Mr. Gogster in the house. Great work. All right, it is time, and we do have Wham now jumping on, replacing Dutch in NBA. Thank you, Wham Bam. But it's now time to move on to MLB. We've got a ton of afternoon action. First game is less than an hour away, and I have bet it. And I can't wait to break down this 8-game card with your next guest, legend in capping circles. And he's here to rock with us right now. Please welcome, direct from Ocala, Florida, the Big Ragoo in the house. Ragoo, what's happening?
You're what's happening, my man. It was such a joy to see you guys in Orlando, just a little south of the border from where I live. But, man, that was one of my proudest moments of actually, in the 5 years that I've known you, was seeing you as a proud papa, man. And not to change the subject, but, man, you were so phenomenal with those kids, and it did me so proud. It was very heartwarming, and I got to meet your better half, I'm going to say, on that regard. But hey, it was a pleasure. But now we're going to cap some games, and we're going to make some cash today, brothers. Make some cash.
Let's get that cash today. And yeah, man, just you lead by example. There's so many guys in our close inner circle here that are family men that I look up to,
yeah.
and it's to have leadership like you give us is wonderful, and I look up to you, and I just try to follow in your footsteps.
Appreciate the kind words.
Big Ragoo, but it was great, and hanging out with Kelly, and then I got to see Ragoo Jr. I got to meet Ragoo
that was
Jr.
unexpected. That was definitely unexpected.
That was very cool to meet Ragoo Jr. And his new wife. What a great couple they are. Let's get to work, and we've got your Yankees in action here, and we have Sharpie, who gets us started by saying the gods have spoken. He's 27-10 on his Dirty K prop. Says, I got a gift for the chat. Montgomery over 4.5 Ks at minus 137. Says, I got him between 6 and 9. 6 and 9. So Yankees, Orioles, we've got a belief from Sharpie that Montgomery will be ready to rock. Let's break this down. Camden yards in Baltimore, Maryland, and I have moved on the under 8. I moved on the under 8. Let me just see exactly what I got it at. Sorry, here. I got the under 8 at minus 105. I came close to backing Zimmerman first 5. We'll go over all of these things. But when I looked at the batter versus pitcher matchups, yes, the Yankees bats have hit Zimmerman hard, but I feel like this is a different Bruce Zimmerman this year, and he's already shown that in 2 starts against the Yankees. But still, I got some cold feet. Then we come to Montgomery. The Orioles have good numbers against Montgomery, but we just saw Montgomery go 4 1/3, allow 2 earned runs in a 3-2 loss at the White Sox. And we know what the White Sox do to lefties. And the Orioles aren't doing that to lefties. In the past, they've hit lefties hard, but this year just 214, 604 OPS. Let's start with the line history here in this spot. We have the Yankees opening up at -210. They initially got up to -225. That was at 7:23 this morning, and there's been a 25-cent move back to the Orioles. So the Yankees gone from -225 to -200. From a totals perspective, it opened at 8, -120 to the over. It's now 8, -115 to the over. When we go over to the cash flow in this spot, we have a ton of tickets in for these games. So unlike I don't know if it was Sports Insights or what was holding everything back ticket-wise yesterday, but we have 12,370 tickets in. We also have 3 teams here that have full market value and one with half. Neither in this game. We have 27% of tickets on the Orioles, 30% of cash, 48% of tickets on the under, and 57% of cash. And then when we go to the weather in game 1 here, it is 7.4 miles per hour left to right. By the last hour of the game, it's slightly out to the tiniest bit, but it's still left to right, 11.1 miles per hour. Bruce Zimmerman's last start at the Tigers was good. His last couple starts haven't been nearly as dominant as his first 6. Yankees versus lefties, 231, 731 OPS, and Zimmerman, 7 hits, 3 runs, just 2 were earned, 2 homers, 2 Ks, 1 walk, and a 3-0 loss at the Tigers. And Yankees bullpen being the best in the business, and the Orioles bullpen has been surprisingly good. Take it away, Big Ragoo, Yankees Orioles.
This is it's not a tough game, but man, how do you bet against the Yanks? You know, they had the best one of the best starts in franchise history, if not the best. 23 out of 27 games have won W's for these Bronx Bombers, and Bronx Bombers are one of these teams when they score low, they come back and smack the shit out of you with a big offensive effort. But there have been some complaints. You know, not a lot of people, but you know, a lot of people are, I guess, with Camden, you know, pushing that wall back out and left with that right-handed Yankees lineup. Man, I don't know, man. They scare me. And here I am. You know, they've cost me more units than any team in Major League in the league this year. The O's have, because I've been backing them. But I've been backing them in the wrong way. I've been backing them on outright wins. The most profitable angle for those pass has been +1.5, you know, better than any team in the league. And I haven't been jumping on that. And sure enough, what happened yesterday? A fucking run one game. And I turn around and I back them on a different type of 3-way play, which, you know, if they win in regulation, I get a big 300+ number. But they come close, but didn't get the job done. So I'm looking at your play here. And I'm seeing some team totals on the local. They've got the Yankees sitting at over 4.5, juiced up to the over at -130. And then they got the O's at 2.5 at -150. So that's 7 in my book. And that's a sharp look by you, I got to say, the under 8. And I was kind of leaning over just because of the fact that both pitchers, you know, both of these lineups have done very well against both pitchers here. I would have to probably lean towards Baltimore's lineup. Let's see. Let me look at something real quick here. So Montgomery, Urias, Santana, Chernos, Mancini, they all got pretty good numbers. But there are weaker spots, but I'm going to say probably down in the lineup. So you're probably looking at a tough first 5. I was interested in the first 5 over initially. Let's see what we can get on that. But full game under looks even better now that I look at it because of the bullpens. Like you said, both bullpens are rocking right now. Both bullpens are rocking. So you kind of pushed me off of that a little bit, my man. I got to say, when I got back and looking at those team totals even though they're juiced a little bit, I say the 8 is the sharpest play on the board. So I'm going to have to lean the full game 8 with you. I was thinking about a full game over, first 5 over, but now I look back into it with those totals. Sharp play on the under 8. I lean with you that way.
Yeah, and it's moving day as well. I don't know what to make of Bruce Zimmerman's step up this year because his velocity is down. He's not a velocity guy. We know that about him. He's a location guy. But I let me just see what the exact lineups are so we could break them down. I went through the whole range of emotions on this. At first, I was looking at, wow, I was like, God, these batters get to these guys. But if Montgomery can handle the White Sox, who, we saw what happened when last year's Cy Young Award winner went into Chicago. He got taken for 6 runs. I think this is going to be an easier opportunity for him. And we know that the ballpark is playing differently. And then when Zimmerman's numbers against the Yankees, I'm like, but this just seems like a much more confident Zimmerman. And I had Zimmerman first 5 the last time these two teams faced, and he was very unlucky. 2 errors in the 5th inning is what knocked him out of the game. And I thought I was going to catch that first 5 with the Orioles. This is the lineup for the Yankees: LeMahieu, Judge, Rizzo, Stanton, Torres, Hicks, Kiner Falefa, Higashioka, and then Gonzalez in left.
Yeah, there's only one guy that's done major damage to him is Judge. Judge has got the couple homers with like 3 ribbies, and everybody else has got some stick figures in there. I call them like straight up and down ones here and there, but nothing damaging, in the few games that they face. So I don't know. It could be dicey, but then again, like you said, we got to see what's going to happen. And I really like that look on the under. I'll probably get to the window with it, but it's not official right now for me.
Not an official spot for the Orioles: Hayes, Urias, Mancini, Santander, Mateo, Nevin, Chirinos, McKenna, and Owings. I mean, that is one ugly lineup. And let's go. Sorry, I missed this. Sorry, because Jose was helping us figure out the NBA situation. Jose, jump on. Say hey play of the day, popping off in 45 minutes. Spectacular work with the say hey plays of the day yesterday. How did the overall day go for you?
Well, of course, since Dad's back, I'd have a good day. 5-1, up over 4 units. So it was a good day. And the one loss, I was on the right path. I liked the Nationals yesterday against my good friend Pablo Lopez and Jimmy. I know you like this picture, so I'll flash it for everyone to see.
Thank you.
Yes, of course. But he struggled yesterday. I kind of expected it. I took the under, unfortunately, got the loss there, but I still went 5-1. And still happy. And it seems like we're correlated on this play too.
Well, talk us through your action on it.
Well, I'm on the under 8 as well. I also went through the gamut of emotions. I looked at those numbers. If you look at Montgomery, this is what an horrible name for a Yankees pitcher, by the way. One of my least favorite Yankees pitchers because he's actually good. 21st are the Yankees right now in weighted runs created plus against lefties this month. The Orioles 24th against lefties this month. Weighted runs created plus 83. So both under average. You just read off the lineups, and there's one notable absence for that Baltimore Orioles lineup, and that's Cedric Mullins. That's another thing that I was like, well, not bringing the boppers there. I wanted to, honestly, this was a Yankees run line spot for me as well, but that's minus 125. And I do kind of expect this game to be lower scoring. The only fear is if, shout out to Molly the dog, by the way, making an appearance. Only fear is that if the Yankees go off by themselves and go off for these 8 runs by themselves.
Yeah, dangerous.
But I like either the Yankees run line today or the under 8. Officially, I'm on the under 8. My other little concern here would be Montgomery, 0-1 in 6 starts with a 3.58 ERA at Camden Yards. Overall against the Orioles, he's 3-1 with a 2.88 in 72 innings pitched. So obviously he's had success against them. The Orioles is the lineup or a team you want to have success against. But I'm on the under 8 with you guys as well.
I love hearing that. Let's just, because this game is a big deal to all of us for our Thursdays, getting off on a winning start and helping us get through our workday. Let's just go around the horn and stay with us here for a bit, Jose. So first off, Sharpie saying Big Ragoo is real as they come. Mad respect to the man, the myth, the legend. We have Billy Friedrich on the O's first 5 plus a half at plus 108. I looked at that for a long time. That was my first initial, maybe do I bet this? And I ended up getting off, but I don't dislike it. By the way, Taint play of the day is in. Trotwam is on no run in the first inning at minus 130. No run in the first inning. Raven in the Desert's on the Orioles plus 1.5, money line, and the under 8. The umpire 5-0 to the home squad and 1-4, so 4 unders in 5 games. Last 5. That's from Raven in the Desert, who we know is so sharp. DX Filer is on the O's at plus 180 for a half unit. He's also on the plus 1.5 at plus 110. Team total over 3 at plus 100. But he says that was before Mullins was announced out. So those were looks there. Nathan Cerner leading to the O's first 2 at plus 170. We got Benny 1 of 1 with looks in the Mets game as well, which we will get to. There's Alex Hills, done with finals. Good to be back. Glad that you got through your finals, my man, and we love capping with you, Alex. Great to have you back in action. Okay, so then we have Jennifer is saying Zimmerman of the Orioles is no joke, future stud. Don't overlook him tonight. And then Matty Ice, star of the Taint play today, says the full game under 8 is also on his card. D. Jenkins also liking the under. Sammy Calmer says the Orioles plus 1.5 is a no-brainer for him. A no-brainer. And
money maker.
Sammy gave us this great stat, and I think I passed. I think I'll. God, it was over the 0 for 10.
I'll give you one. There it is.
Yeah, there it is. The 0 for 10 straight up are the Yankees in the last game of a divisional series on the road as a favorite.
It's a travel spot too, right? Where the Yankees playing their next game?
I am glad that I did not take the Yankees and I'm on the under 8 today. Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see why people are on the Orioles. It's just Cedric Mullins being out is a concern, and when you're in the Orioles,
missing a piece. They get Nevin in place of him, right?
They're going home to the White Sox, by the way, next time out.
Okay,
the Yanks are going home back to the Bronx. Okay. I mean, it's an exit game. It could be it's a small travel spot, but still, it's a travel spot as a whole. Plus, the O's are going to avoid the sweep, correct?
The O's are looking to avoid the sweep, yeah. Danzo says, take the Orioles, man. If you lose, you lose. Make your money back when you take Cincinnati. They're going to kick in the Guardians' asses today. No, I'm keeping it clean here. I'm keeping it clean. One bet in this game for me, the under 8. Jose, say hey, play of the day. Did you tweet this out, Jose?
Did I tweet this out? No, I just tweeted it as I just sent.
And what was the number you got?
I got minus 110.
All right. I'm going to make a little different spot here, guys, just to kind of shake things up a little bit. You know, I'm a big first 5 guy. You know, I like plus money. I'm not going to take the plus half plus 110 with the O's. I'm going to take the under 4 at minus 105. First 5. That's official.
All right. Under 4.
I'm sorry. Billy Friedrich is mentioning I'm starting to become the mumble capper again, and I apologize.
And what did you get on that under 4, Ragoo?
Minus 105.
Let me just quickly see if I can beat it. And then we'll move on to the next game. So that game pops off in 39 minutes, and we all made moves on it. So it's going to be a fun afternoon. I try so hard not to force the action. I just wanted it. Let's see what we can get you. Wow. So I can get you that at Pinnacle right now. They've moved it to 4.5. Yeah. Now it's juiced heavy, but I can get you that under 4 at plus 109.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take the under the 4 on your number. You know, the locals, they try to choke you out with their juice. That's what they do.
They do that.
Yeah.
Under
but
4.
I have other outs, but I just use it for – I don't want to bounce around. So.
And Sharpie says the Orioles are a 60-win team. Can't look at the sweep angle unless it's a 90-win team, in his opinion.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for the lyrics, bud. All right, let's move on. Jose, good luck. Great job yesterday on your 2 say hey plays. Let's get hot. Let's stay hot. Get hot. There he is, Jose. Oh, wait, Jose, come back here quickly if you can, just quickly. Give us your record now for the year, and who's your special guest today?
Well, as you guys know, there's a short baseball card today. It's going to be 3 games. So I told Bobano, you know what, Bobano? Take the day off, buddy. The NHL's calling. It's literally 3 games. I'll break them down by myself. A short little say hey nugget. But these count for the say hey counter. So we count them, rack them up. Even Cal Ripken Jr. played on those rain delay games. So it's going to be a fun time. And 144 and 134. Back up to fucking 10 units. 10.
We're going to have to start calling you the Iron Man, my man. Iron Man Jose.
That's what we're doing, Ragoo. The Iron Man. That's another nickname. Don't know what I'm talking about. The mumble capper. I've got full of names, Ragoo. I'm full of them, and I'm ready to go.
All right,
Sharpie wants to jump on the show, Jose. So maybe you will have some excellent company.
Oh, there you go. Sure, I'll Sharpie. Come on. Why not? I'd love for Sharpie to come on.
Sharpie and Jose on today's Say Hey Plays of the Day. But don't forget, Sharpie has his prize picks at 3:10, the Balking Dead, 3:10 Eastern. All right, we are locked in. Again, Say Hey Play of the Day is the under 8 at -110. I'm on the under 8 at -105. Ragoo's on the first 5, under 4 plus 109. We move on. 1:05 p.m. Eastern. The San Diego Padres, 23-14, 13-7 on the road at the Philadelphia Phillies, 18-19, 10-10 at home. We're at Citizens Bank Park, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We will start with the weather in Philly. Let's take a look at it. 63 Fahrenheit at first pitch, 4.7 miles per hour sideways in. It gets up to 6 and 6.6 sideways in. All right, we're getting a little scratch. We're getting a little scratching on the audio there. If you could, I'm not sure what it is.
How's that better?
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, and then we'll move on to the line history here. The line history in this Philly spot, Darvish versus Gibson. The big 15-cent move towards San Diego Padres and Darvish on the road. The Padres open up at +105 and move to -110. And that becomes even more significant when you talk about dog to favorite. But it is a pick'em, so I guess not quite favorite. The total opened up at -110. The first move was towards the under, 5-cent move. But it's just back to a pick'em. So we have a pick'em right there. Then we move over to where the cash is. And we have 10,541 tickets in. We have 38% of the tickets on the Phillies and just 24% of the cash. Not only that, but we have full line value, says Sports Insights. Full line value on the San Diego Padres. From a total perspective, just 44% of tickets are on the under, but 73% of cash is on the under, and it hasn't moved. Eric Jones doesn't care about that. He's on the Philly over 8. Sharpie's leaning towards the Phillies first 5, says Darvish on the road is a fade to me, and Gibson being money. But no Harper, but these bats are live. Under first 5, over full game. Under first 5, over full game. Red Girl liking Philly. Johnny Gonzalez says Padres avoid the sweep today. All right, let's just talk about you here very quickly. 3-1, 4.62 ERA, 1.18 WHIP, 39 innings, 32 Ks, 11 walks, 4 homers. In his last start, he got hit hard at Atlanta. 5 2/3, 9 hits, 5 earned runs, 1 homer, 4 Ks, 1 walk. Kyle Gibson did not look good in his last start. Excuse me, a 12-10 extra inning win at the Dodgers. 3 2/3, 8 hits, 6 earned runs, 1 homer, just 1 K. Padres are hitting just 219, 625 OPS versus righties. Phillies 249, 717 OPS. Padres bullpen 3.91 ERA, 1.13 WHIP, have converted 15 of 21. Not being good, but it being better than the Phillies bullpen. 4.35 ERA, 1.38 WHIP, 10-14. I got him. Sorry, I just had this look I was staring at.
There he is.
Okay.
Carter.
I know. I'm sorry. Okay, just out of the corner of my eye. Just staring. Okay. Take it away here, Ragoo. Padres, Phillies.
Yeah, here's the key. I'm going to throw out a couple key stats early.
We are having some audio issues there, Ragoo. I'm not sure what is going on.
All right.
Okay, hit us again.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm going to give out a few key stats on the Phillies at home. Phillies are 1-4 the last 5 versus right-handers, and also are 1-5 the last 6 as a favorite at home. Okay, the Padres are 4-1 versus the National League East, and 10-3 out of the last 13 on the road. So, I mean, those losses come conveniently against the Phils, right? Because they're trying to avoid some sweeps here. But I'm not a big Darvish guy, but in this spot, I kind of like the matchup for Darvish here against the Philly bats on the road. I like them against Gibson. They just kind of match up here, and they're going to be missing that bat. And I know Hoskins going to have to step up, which he has, in that leadership role for them with the bat, and is in the spot. But they're going to have to get some bats underneath him. And I think Darvish has been pretty successful against these guys. Segura, Castellanos, Camargo, or Herrera, and Baum have not had good success against Darvish long term. So this is a one-way play for me. I'm all over, and it's and the price indicates that going for the sweep. I like Darvish. I like the San Diego bats against Gibson, and I don't like Phillies bats against Darvish here. So it's a one-way play for me. Even though Kyle Gibson's got the probably the better MO here in this spot. But if you did pull the numbers back, I'm on the Padres at a cheap number.
The Padres, are you taking the first 5 or are you going full game?
This is a full game effect because of the Phillies bullpen, so I'm taking the Padres. I hope their bats wake up, because when I get on the Padres, their bats seem a little sleepy for me, but I'm hoping they wake up early, and I'm not going to lean on the first 5. I'm going to hope for a full game they go away.
And these Padres have quite a history with Gibson. Let's see, where's Machado? Machado, 292. Doesn't have a home run, batting 292, 24 at bats. Hosmer batting 302 and 43 at bats. Just one homer, but 302 there. Let's see what Profar. Profar batting 200. Will Myers, 143. And then Robinson Cano, 242. Luke Voigt, 400, but that's just in 5 at bats, so 2 for 5.
Small sample size.
I get this look, and I get the distrust of the bullpen here. I get it all. So that Phillies lineup, too, without Harper and Hoskins, Bohm, Schwarber, Castellanos, Realmuto, Herrera, Camargo, Stott turning the lineup over, and Hoskins batting first. All right, let's see what we can get. Ragoo here. We'll do a little line shopping for him right now. The Padres are minus 106 over at Pinnacle. I'll pull up here. So minus 106 over at Pinnacle. Let's see what we can get him very quickly over at Circa. And then we will lock him in. So minus 106 at Pinnacle. And we have Ragoo on the board with the Pods. I get it. I get it. There's Paco Healy in the house. Great to see you, Paco.
That's a good omen right there.
Oh, yes. While you're betting the Padres, to see Paco Healy there.
That's right. Great omen.
And it's minus 113 at Circa. This is moving in the Padres direction quickly. Okay. I like this look. I think this look makes sense. Padres minus 106 for Ragoo. And I would like to tail that. Tail that. This game pops off in an hour. Ragoo is on the San Diego Padres full game at minus 106. Billy Friedrich found out minus 105 at Bookmaker. Okay, great. Let's move that a cent here. Thank you. Every cent counts. Yenny Toon says Philly's been good lately. Says without Harper, they're still good. Benny 101 says Gibson's got a 14.73 ERA last 14 days. Is Darvish or nothing? Yes, Jasmine Waters, there's no Harper in the lineup. All right. And Sharpie says Schwarber's batting 111 on anything other than a fastball. Benny 101 on Padres first 5 plus a half. Probably a juicy spot there. And Sharpie says that Sweep Angles live. Okay. Oh, minus 104 at BetDSI. No problem. Billy, you're helping us out here. Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to 1 p.m. Eastern. 1 p.m. Eastern, and we arrive at the taint play of the day. What's going on? Why can't I? Thank you for that. I don't know what was happening there in my brand section, but we have it. Taint play of the day is in. Mets first 5 minus a half at minus 120. Backing my boy Bassett and these Mets versus righties, says Taint. And take a look at this giant market move towards the New York Mets. Just a huge move towards them. It's actually come back a bit, but it opened up minus 145 yesterday at 5:09 p.m. 5-cent increments until it went up. What's that? Until a 17-cent increment at 8:47 a.m. So it went all the way up to minus 192, from minus 145 to minus 192. Now there has been 12 cents of buyback, and that just happened 15 minutes ago. 15 minutes ago, went back to minus 180 for the Mets. From a total perspective, it opened up at 7.5, went down to 7, back up at 7.5, down to 7, and it's sitting at 7.5 right now, juiced to the over. Let's take a look at the weather in New York. 57 Fahrenheit, 4.2 miles per hour in, goes down to 2.9. And then we will go over to the cash flow in this Mets spot. And this is another situation, just like with the Padres, where it has full line value on the New York Mets. All these three teams that Sports Insight says full line value, there's been significant market moves towards them. This is another example of it. Huge move towards the Mets and Bassett. 11,865 tickets in. 61% of the tickets are on the Mets, 85% of the cash. Then you have 53% of tickets on the under and 71% of cash on the under. It looks like the juice is moving towards the over. We're at Citi Field. Dakota Hudson 3-2, 3.06 ERA, 1.33 WHIP. His K to walk ratio is terrible. 20 Ks, 17 walks, but he has kept contact down. His last start he had back-to-back starts against the Giants. The first one wasn't that good. The last one was very good. 5 innings, 5 hits, no runs, 2 Ks, 2 walks. Bassett on the other side, coming off a nice start in a 5-4 win at home over the Mariners. He went 5 2/3, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 8 Ks, and 3 walks, 2.34 ERA, 1.02 WHIP, and his coach, his minor league coach, is none other than star of the Taint Play of the Day, Matty Ice. Cards versus righties is 246, 78 OPS. Mets versus righties, as Maddie said, 264, 733 OPS. Both bullpens have been good. The Mets bullpen's been much better of late. Cards bullpen now 3.72 ERA, 1.27 WHIP, but the Mets bullpen 3.46 ERA, 1.17 WHIP. Have converted just 12 of 17 save opportunities. So take it away here, Ragoo. Cardinals Mets.
Yeah, Bassett's last start, even though he didn't get the decision, he had a pretty solid outing against. Who was it? The Mariners, right? And they won like 5-4. Yeah. And then last time against these same Cards, he had a shutout, 3-0. But short sample size here. And if you look at the lineups, I guess the current lineups, I think he's pretty successful here. That's probably why this strong move. A lot of low numbers, a lot of offers on here, in that shutout. So I can see it. It makes total sense to me. But we're talking about the Cardinals, the fucking team I love to hate, the team that kind of used to get in my back pocket, but not this year so far. Not that I'm going to fade or get on the Cardinals every time they play, but I think this is a great spot for the Mets. I kind of missed the move. I know it's kind of came back a little bit. I don't like betting in the bad numbers, but this has got to be a game where it's got to be Mets or pass. I know we know who Pujols broke a milestone last night in a losing effort. But do they avoid the sweep? Do they bounce back? I don't think so. It's either Mets or pass for me here. I want no part of the Cardinals in this spot, and the market shows that. And I think the Metsies maybe lean towards the under a little bit here too. Might be a good little under spot. Maybe Hudson does show up in a decent effort, and then maybe it's like a 4-3 Mets win or something like that. But I don't want to get involved with the run line. I don't want to go bet against the Cardinals, but it would be a Mets or pass for me. And maybe lean towards the under.
Yeah, I feel like I missed the boat here, and I'm not going to take it late. That first 5 minus a half, I bet 365 is now minus 135. It's just a spot where I can be comfortable just missing it. And Sharpie says, I knew the Cards would get some runs off Scherzer. He says, I can guarantee you Cards get them for 3 today as long as their lineup is normal. Bassett versus top 10 hitting teams, he's got rocked. And he says last 2 weeks, Cardinals are a top 10 hitting team. Why don't we take a look at the lineup right now? And we are confirmed here for the Cards. Edmund Donovan, 1-2. Goldschmidt, Arenado, Yepes, Carlson, Pujols, Bader, and Kinzer. Then for the Mets, Nemo, Kanya, Lindor, Alonso, McNeil, Escobar, Davis, Guillorme, and Nido. Okay. And Sharpie says, once again, Cards are a 90-win team. So taking the Mets money line is going against a system that catches 95% of the time sweep angle with a 90-win team. I'm going to comfortably stay off this spot here. Ricky Bobby looking at St. Louis team total under 3.5. And we move. Eric Jones looking at the under 7.5. Don Mack got the Mets first 5 minus a half plus 105 last night. Great job, Don Mack. Danzo also says about that Philly spot, says just because Philly took care of the Dodgers last week, don't be misled. Those 4 games against Dodgers had 5 errors. Philly had none. They scored 8 runs unearned against the Dodgers from our guy Danzo. Okay, so we move on. 1:10 p.m. Eastern. Cincinnati Reds 10-26, 5-17 on the road. The Cleveland Guardians 16-18, 7-6 at home. Progressive Field in Cleveland, Ohio. I was not comfortable moving on this game yesterday, and nothing really has changed here. 63 Fahrenheit at first pitch, 7.4 miles per hour in, and it goes down to 3.6, but it finishes off at 6.7, sideways in. Let's take a look at the line. The line history will involve yesterday's line history, but there's no problem. It's same picture. So, okay, no, they're just doing the new line history from the new game. So that's a nice change from the site. Didn't used to do that. No movement. Reds open up at plus 110. That's where they stand right now. And this total opened up minus 115 to the under, moved 5 cents to the under, and then back to minus 115. And then when we go to the cash flow in this spot, we have 9,898 tickets in. 83% of the tickets, 96% of the cash is on the Cleveland Guardians, and no market movement. Wow. 70% of the tickets, 67% of cash on the over. Wow. Eric Jones says, call me crazy, but I took the under 8 here. There's brothers and bets in the house. What's happening, my man? Brothers and bets rolling with us. Okay, Molly, I feel like it's a similar situation as Pavetta yesterday. We're waiting for Molly to be the pitcher on the road that he was last year when he was dominant. He's coming off a nice performance at Pittsburgh on the road. Now, Pittsburgh's a great pitcher's ballpark. 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 8 Ks, 1 walk. Why would he not be able to do that again? The Guardians' numbers were gaudy against righties before. They're coming down a bit, especially the power numbers. Still 262 average, but 748 OPS. Reds' bullpen's atrocious, not to be trusted. Quantrill's coming off the start at the White Sox, who aren't hitting righties, and they went for 4 earned runs against him and 10 hits in 6 in the third. Billy Friedrich likes Cleveland, team total over 4 here. Benny, 1 of 1s on the Guardians, first 5 minus a half at plus 118. Mike M says Cleveland's 0 for 4 versus Central. Says all of Twatter is hammering Cleveland, or was hammering Cleveland yesterday. Same game, same spot, Reds or nothing. Let's hear what the Big Ragoo has to say. Cincinnati Reds at Cleveland Guardians.
I think yesterday in the chat, I think I was talking about betting this game, and I know that Dabby, what was Dabby's playing this game yesterday? Because he and I think he said he was going to tail me, but he was going to play the first.
He had the Guardians first 5 at minus 118.
Yeah, and I think I had him on the full game spot here. Listen, Molly, they're going to come back to the mean with him, and our pitcher for the for the Guardians, he's not really setting the world on fire. He hadn't had a great outing against these guys, but the Guardian, to me, this is about the Guardians bats, and my first look was going to be on the over, and I know we had some rain, and that kind of backed me off of that. But what's the weather like today? What'd you say that with the wind and the precipitation was looking like today for this game?
There's no precipitation. It's clear. Mm-hmm. It becomes cloudy late, but it's clear. 7.4 miles per hour sideways in. It dies down in the middle of the game to 3.6 and then comes back to 6.7.
So I think we get the bats. We get the bats here from the Guardians. That was my look initially, and then like I said, I kind of got, not that I got off the play, but I was willing to live with the play yesterday. Today, I even like it more. I mean, the only thing that changes here is nothing. It just kind of helps. Maybe longer term, I think it helps the rotation for Minor to get back in the lineup for those guys too. But at the same time, I'm still on the same play I was in the chat yesterday. I'm still going full game with the Indians. I still call them the Indians with the Guardians. Full game. I like that look here. Not the run line, but just straight up. I'm not going to get involved with the first 5. But I'm willing to take a swing with the Guardians at home. I'm following the market move. I'm following my gut. I think the bats come alive here. I think they touch Molly up. I think they get the win.
And that's minus 127 at both Pinnacle and Circa.
Yeah, it's interesting you saying that, with all the money coming in, that the market hasn't. I mean, I said I'm following the market. I'm following the money. The market hasn't jumped up tremendously with that type of with those huge numbers coming in on that. So that's a little bit concerning. But I'm trusting my cap here. I'm staying with the Guardians.
I think that it's better for me just to stay off this.
And I don't blame you.
And it's because I think, okay, we know what happened with the Reds to start the year. They were historically bad.
Yeah, I mean,
But-
they've come back a little bit.
Yeah, the vibe in the clubhouse has changed a little. And we know that Molly's a good, I shouldn't say we know, but we've seen signs of Molly being a quality pitcher. He's coming off a nice start. Now, Benny 101 says, like I said, 4 earned runs in 4 innings last time out versus the Reds. He just got off to a rough start, as the whole ball club did. And let's just see what the hitters do against him.
How many innings do you think we're going to get on Molly today?
Well, the Guardians are hitting 262 against righties. So if they ticky-tack him to death, he'll probably go 5 and a third.
That's what I figured, 5 max.
Yeah. I guess I stay off. It's worked for me. It certainly worked for me yesterday when, someone I respected was on the other side of the situation. I just stayed off. So I guess I'm going to do that. There's Dave Berkey in the house. What up, Berkey? We got CT Bays ready to get to work. Julian Cesario in the house. CT Bay says Reds vs Guardians full game over 8. 23-12-1 on the season. Offense is better, and Penn still sucks.
Yeah. With Quantrill, I think he can get hit too. So I wouldn't frown on an overlook here either. That's if Quantrill doesn't perform and Molly doesn't go the distance, doesn't have a sharp 5 innings, the first 5, then over would be definitely in play in my book.
Yeah, not a lot of at bats. I guess it should come as no surprise. With forget the fact that this is a Battle of Ohio. We have National League versus the American League, so not a lot of at bats against Quantrill. I'm going to stay off of it. I'm going to stay off of it. All right, let's move on to a move I did make. And clearly, I made a lot of money off Carlos Hernandez last year. His velocity is down 1.2 miles an hour on his fastball. He got destroyed in his last start at the Rockies. He's got destroyed all year long. He's looked awful. But when it comes down to Velasquez or Hernandez, I trust Hernandez so much more than Velasquez. And we know that Velasquez wouldn't be in the White Sox rotation, and he won't be here in a month. I don't know how he's still in the rotation. I took the plus money on the Royals first 5, and I also made a $500 bet on the White Sox to win the division at minus 140 this morning that I'm very confident in. But I also bet the Royals first 5 here, plus 110. We're at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. The White Sox 18-19, 9-9 on the road. I hear you, Mike. I cannot do it. Then sorry, I was watching Razor's take on the Oilers Flames game. Velasquez 2-3, 5.53 ERA, 1.52 WHIP, 25 Ks and 27 2/3, 12 walks, 6 home runs allowed. His last start, he allowed 7 earned runs, 3 homers in a loss at home versus the Yankees. Carlos Hernandez allowed 9 earned runs and 2 homers in a 10-4 loss at the Rockies. The White Sox rating just 222, 609 OPS versus righties. Royals just 225, 631 OPS. And both bullpens have been very disappointing, especially the White Sox bullpen that was assumed was going to be lights out. 4.16 ERA, 1.35 WHIP, 15 of 23 converted saves. We're going to start with the weather. 82 Fahrenheit at first pitch, 14.9 miles per hour out to center, 11.9 and then 12.8 to finish off the game. We go to the line history in this Royals White Sox spot. We have no movement at all. There was a 5-cent move to the White Sox. It came back 10 cents. It's now just exactly where it started with the White Sox minus 140. And then from a total perspective, it opened up at 9.5. And in less than an hour ago, it moved to 10. So when we just take a look at the cash flow before we hand it over to the Big Ragoo, 10,856 tickets in. 27% of the tickets, 33% of the cash on the Royals. 49% of tickets, 48% cash on the under. you would think with these two pitchers and their ridiculous statistics mixed with the wind blowing out that all the money would be on the over. We have seen the total go from 9.5 to 10. Take it away here, Big Ragoo, White Sox Royals.
This is a strong look on the over. I mean, if you look at the first 5 over, I'm looking at a 5.5. What I'm seeing over here, which is a big number for a game like, a game not being played in Colorado, right? I mean, geez, that's a huge number. But yeah, this is more of a fade of Hernandez, like you were saying. We know he's going to be gone. I mean, he's 0-3, 9.11 ERA. He got smashed at Colorado last out, and I know that that the White Sox haven't seen a ton of Velasquez, right? If I'm looking at that correctly, and it's just more of a fade of Hernandez. Now the bats of the Royals are not setting the world on fire, but I just think the form that Hernandez is in, and then not so much of a look at that the Velasquez has coming up against the White Sox here. I just think it's a good spot for the Royals. I think I would be interested in the first 5 plus half a run, but I think more of a value would be the money line on the straight up side with Kansas City getting that plus money at that spot here. And it's like I say, it's more of a fade on Hernandez, not so much that the Royals bats are coming to life, but I think it's a good spot. What's the percentages on the money versus the bets on this one?
The bigger bets have come in on the Royals, 26% of the tickets, but 32% of the cash. Look, for all of you guys in the chat shitting on Carlos Hernandez, there was starts last year where he looked, and look, I know this might be ridiculous, but I said it on the show and I made a ton of money on him in the second half of the year, that he looked like a Cy Young winner. Velasquez has never done that. He's never shown us signs that he could be a spectacular pitcher. Hernandez has. And I know we're down 1.2 miles of velocity this year from Hernandez, and then even Cheshire Cat says Hernandez was bet on at home for me last year. CT Bay says Hernandez pitches better in the second half, not the first half. Look, Carlos Hernandez could get absolutely lit up here, but I'm certain that he's a better pitcher than Velasquez. And I'm certain he's going to have a much better career than Velasquez. So, and I agree with CT Bay saying value on Hernandez after the break. I'm just saying right here, straight up, if you're going to give me plus money on Hernandez against Velasquez, I will take it. And it sounds like we're leaning towards Hernandez as well. Did you want me to see what it would be plus a half here for you?
Yeah, just the plus a half. Yeah, I know Velasquez has faced has faced the Royals a couple times, but I got to take the Hernandez money, the plus money. Let's just see what the plus a half would be worth.
The plus a half it's expensive. It's minus 125.
Yeah, that's what I got here. I'll just take the money line's plus 110.
The money, well, that's what I bet it at. I know you could. I imagine you could get better at Pinnacle here.
I'm interested in that.
The plus 108. Wow, that's I like seeing that. Let me see if I can beat that somewhere here. The first 5 money line plus 113. I can get you at circa.
Give me that.
All right, so. Ragoo is on the Royals plus 113. Oh, first 5. Royals first 5 plus 113.
Yeah, because I think they're going to give him a plane ticket back to AAA after today.
For Vince Velasquez. Yeah. I mean, now we saw. Look, we obviously there's biases, and I biases with Velasquez. And Velasquez has hurt me. There's been times where I thought he was so bad, and he's pitched well. He needs movement. There's times when he throws and there's just no movement at all on his fastball, and he's just throwing 95 right over the plate. There's also a change in the lineups that we don't like. if you're backing the Royals, and that's that one of the guys who smashes righties and smashes Velasquez is not in the lineup, and that's their spectacular catcher, which I don't like. Oh, Billy Friedrich found a plus 115 at Bookmaker. Thank you. And CT Bays mentioned that. CT Bays says, where is it here? No Salvador Perez or Grandal hurts the over. Jeffrey Warren says, I might look at the first five, but this is the lineups right now. For the White Sox, Anderson, Moncada, Robert, Abreu, Pollock, Sheets, Vaughn, McGuire, Harrison. And for the Royals, Merrifield, Benintendi, Witt, Dozier, Melendez, Rivera, Isbel, Rivero, and Nicky Lopez.
Yeah, I'd like to see a little more production out of the top of the lineup for KC. Maybe their bats. Maybe we get a little recharge from Merrifield here at the top of the lineup and Benintendi. Because if they do, then I'm going to be real comfortable. We'll see how they come out of the box here. But that's probably the weaker part. Believe it or not, that's probably the weaker part of the lineup against this team. And
we have, Hernandez coming home after pitching in the thin air in Colorado. The THC's Rizza says first five under five has value. Taking the big catching bats out of the lineup on both sides does make I cannot take the under with Velasquez out there, but this is one of those spots where you look at the pitcher's numbers and you're like, oh, easy over here. And
right.
It just doesn't work out like that. And a 5.5 first five. Billy Friedrich says Benintendi kills the White Sox in his career. So we have Ragoo and I both on the Royals. Those are your afternoon games. The Royals first five, by the way. Those are your afternoon games. And Don Max says, don't sleep on Melendez, Jimmy. Well, I hope he steps up here. I'll need him to step up here. All right, let's review afternoon action before we go into the 3 night games. The say hey play of the day, he cashed them both yesterday here on the show, is the under 8 in Yankees Orioles. He got it minus 110. I moved on it before the show, minus 105. And Ragoo's on the first 5 under 4, and he got that at plus 109. Then Ragoo is on the Padres. I have 35 minutes to bet it. I would like to join him. Matty Ice taint play of the day is Mets first 5 minus a half at minus 120. Ragoo and I stayed off that spot, but Ragoo moved on the Guardians. Excuse me, at minus 127. Then both Ragoo and I are on the Royals first 5. Danzo says Royals can't hit. They can't score. Oh no, they can hit, but they can't score. Sorry, Dan said the Royals can hit, but they just can't score. They don't. They out hit almost every team and just don't outscore them. And Cheshire Cat says Merrifield's been great. All right, so there's your afternoon action. Let's move into the 3 night games. We start at 7:10 p.m. Eastern. The Seattle Mariners 17-21, 8-14 on the road to the Boston Red Sox 15-22, 6-10 at home. We're at Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts. Let's go over to the weather here. 57 Fahrenheit at first pitch, 5.6 miles per hour out. It stays between 6.1 and 4.5 for the game. Out to center. Then we'll look at the line history in Mariners Red Sox. The Red Sox opened up at minus 130. They're now minus 125. So, excuse me, a slight 5-cent move over to the Mariners. This total opened up at 8.5. It dropped to 8 for about 2 hours this morning. It's back at 8.5. It's 8.5 at a pick'em. Then we go into the cash flow here. Half line value on Kirby, the young stud, and the Seattle Mariners. We have 36% of the tickets on Seattle and 48% of the cash on Seattle. Then 51% of tickets on the under and 73% of cash on that under. Kirby last start was not as spectacular as his first one. He went 4 innings, allowed 3 hits, 3 runs, just 1 was earned. 1 K, 1 walk, and a 5-4 loss to the Mets. But we know what the Mets have been doing to right-handed pitching. Going up against Rich Hill, a.k.a. Dick Mountain. Dick Mountain coming off a nice start. 6 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs, 2 of which were earned. 4 Ks, no walks, 11-3 win at the Rangers. 2.89 ERA, 1.11 whip. Mariners don't hit lefties at all. 204, 655 OPS. The league is not hitting lefties so far this year. Red Sox versus righties, 242, 678 OPS. Mariners bullpen, 3.71 ERA, 1.18 whip. And the Red Sox bullpen, 4.19 ERA, 1.21 whip. Take it away here, Ragoo. Mariners, Red Sox.
Let me click the mute button. Sorry about that. All right. So we got 2 opposite ends of the spectrum here. We got a wily veteran that's had great success against these M's. And then you got the M's pitcher, which is, a young stud looking to make a name for himself, making a name for himself. going against suspect at times Red Sox with their abilities. And we know Boston, not Boston Nick, but Boston Jose, another nickname for him, loves these Red Sox at times, but at times he can't stand them. So this is a time that I'm going to have to be on the Boston side of things. That's tough for a Yankee to say that, but I just like the matchup. It's going to be a pitching matchup, but which one of these pitchers is going to come out on top of, no pun intended, the hill, right? So I kind of like the look with the pitching matchup on Rich Hill's side of things. He's had good success against his team. The Red Sox have been spotty, but I think this is a great matchup for Rich Hill, who is rolling right now. And I think the wily veteran gets the job done. And, being a first five guy, I think it happens early, and I'm going to get to the window with our guy Rich Hill in the first five. I got to look at the numbers and see how I want to play it exactly. So if you can help me out with that, we'll determine how we're going to get behind Rich Hill in this spot.
Yeah, I like the look. I don't know what Kirby's going to give us here in his first start in historic Fenway Park. Jose, have you, and I know you want to save a lot of these looks here for your show tonight, but we got your Red Sox here.
Oh, beautiful. I know where you're playing already. Sorry, Jose.
Do your thing.
First 5 minus a half, because just like I told you the other day with the Rays, that was a go-to play for me. It's going to be my go-to play here again with the Red Sox.
First 5 minus a half. What are your expectations of Dick Mountain and also of Kirby in his first start at Fenway?
I'm worried about you over there, Jim. You want to get a water? I'm worried about you. Dying.
I know. I'm good.
I think he pitches well again today. Last time out, or I should say last time I was on the show and Dick was pitching, I mentioned that he was kind of being a little overmanaged, and Alex Cora wasn't really letting him go, basically. It was always a quick hook, get him 5-6 innings, and 5 innings, basically, and then he'd get out of there. He went 6 at Texas, 7 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned. I think he's been solid. I do like Noli's first 5 under look as well. I have noticed a lot of money going on the Mariners. Mariners are now even money on Bovada. Red Sox are minus 120. So that's concerning. But the Mariners have just been I would say a really, really big disappointment. Up on the Tigers level of disappointment. They're not hitting yet. Robbie Ray's been questionable. Logan Gilbert's starting to tail off a bit. Marco Gonzalez is not good. And again, the hitters are just not hitting well. And that's one of the biggest factors in this. So I'm taking the first 5 under as well. I shouldn't say I'm taking it. I haven't moved on it officially yet. I would take the first 5 under. Mariners this month so far, second or third to last against lefties, 72 weighted runs created plus. I don't want to sound biased like I always do. I guess I would lean towards the Red Sox, obviously, here. 5th against righties this month so far. They're hitting the ball well. I said George Corby was going to struggle last time out in his first road start against the Mets. Did well there. But ultimately no play for me. I think this will be an interesting game.
Interesting breakdown. Ragoo, do you want the minus a half at plus 125? Because you can get the straight up first 5 at minus 112.
I know our guy Cab has been having some struggles laying the half. And last year, the half has been fucking really unfriendly to me, but it's been pretty good to me this year. So I'm going to come back to that at the plus money. I think my capping is good with the minus halves at the plus prices. I think I've been more in the plus, a lot more in the plus side than I have on the negative side with the cashers on that regard. So give me the minus a half plus 125. And I'm going to trust Dick Mountain to get the job done, to hold them guys down. And they've had their struggle against the lefties, and I think Dick Mountain is in a special spot here, special place at Fenway. The youngster coming to Fenway, first time there. It's just like walking in the Yankee Stadium, no different. Except they got the Green Monster to deal with over there. So with them left-handed bats, with their left-handed Dick Mountain against that weak left-handed lineup, let's get it done, baby. Let's get it done.
I'm gonna end up taking the Red Sox today again. Damn, it's gonna be unfortunate.
But hey, last time we were on screen together, we did well, Jose. So let's keep that going, my man.
Yeah, I'll make the Red Sox official. Here we go. We ride again. This game might not happen because of rain. 25% chance according to Bovada. Kyle Henley, boots on the ground, weatherman for us, says it's raining there now, and his softball game might get canceled. So boots on the ground reporting there by Kyle. So I'll move on Red Sox full game money line -120.
You know, there's 0% supposedly precipitation this afternoon.
Beautiful, even better.
So I expect. Let's see if RotoWire thinks. Yeah, oh, you're right. RotoWire saying 25%.
That's and we established RotoWire's weather might not be the best. So.
I just need the first 5 innings.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I like it. And you're making this official full game.
Yeah, full game money line -120. I mean, Seamus, my guy, yesterday got me on the money line. He was preaching that sweet nothings. He was telling me they were underperforming. They'll bounce back. Don't worry, we'll be contending for the playoffs, and they're bouncing back. So we'll see. I'm on the money line. I'm sure they've never disappointed me before. I'm sure they won't start now, huh?
Sounds like you were talking to a big Red Sox fan. That's what I think.
Seamus? Ignoramus? No. No way.
Okay, -115 for you. Say hey, -115. So we have 6 seconds. I think Noli's on one here. I think Noli's on one. I like that first 5 under 4.5. Also, if CT Bay saying in Kirby's last start, he's from New York. He was at Citi Field. He looked nervous. I don't think Fenway Park is a place where you might relax, but maybe, getting away from the friends and family watching you. We saw how electric he was in his first start. We know that he's more of a location pitcher than a, going to overpower you. But I
had the same angle though, Jimmy, last time out with the Mets. I thought, cross country rookie going to play the big bad Mets first time, all that stuff, but he still goes 4 innings of 3 hit ball or three hits, 3 runs, only one of them earned. So he pitched rough, but it wasn't that bad. He's still a good pitcher, but I'm hoping the same thing happens again today, but the money going on the Mariners obviously a little concerning. But I do like that first 5 under look as well, though.
All right, we have Ragoo, Red Sox first 5 -0.5 at +125. Say hey, play of the day number 2, Red Sox -115, and I'm going to run with Noli Nose on the first 5 under 4.5. I like that look. All right, we move on. 7:40 p.m. Eastern, Arizona Diamondbacks 18-21, 8-10 on the road at the Chicago Cubs, 15-21, 6-12 at home at Wrigley Field in Chicago, Illinois. Let's start with the weather here. 74 Fahrenheit at first pitch, warm in Chicago, 12 miles per hour out to left center, and then it moves to left, but it stays between 9.1 and 11.5 miles per hour. We go over to the line history here. Go over to the line history. And this is going to be a fun one. The Diamondbacks open up as -120 favorites. So this is the third game where Sports Insights is giving full line value to the Chicago Cubs. And we see a 25-cent move towards the Chicago Cubs and Marcus Stroman. 25 cents. So Arizona opens up at -120. Now they're +105. And from a total perspective, it opens up at 8. It moves to 8.5. And then it moves to 9. So it's moved a full run to the over. Wow. Let's see if the money backs all of that up here. Just 6,620 tickets in. 47% of the tickets on the Cubs, 69% of the cash. And then 59% of tickets on the under and 81% of the cash. And it's moved up a full run. Very strange. Billy Friedrich says Stroman. Yeah.
I'll tell you why it moved up the run. It's very windy. It's very, very windy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen 25 mile per hour wind at Wrigley. And this is, 11 and 12. But yeah, I get it. And here, Billy Friedrich saying Stroman is done. And Stroman's first game off of COVID, his last start was very good. It was against the light hitting Brewers squad, especially against righties. But 7 innings, 2 hits, 5 Ks, 1 walk, and a 2-0 win at Milwaukee. But he has 5.13 ERA, 1.18 WHIP on the year. Zach Gallen's been lights out. God, has he been good? 35 Ks and 5 walks. He's allowed 1 homer and 34 in the third, 1.05 ERA, 0.67 WHIP. his last start was at home versus these very Cubs. 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 1 homer, solo shot, 9 Ks, 1 walk. Diamondbacks are hitting 206, 656 OPS versus righties. Cubs just 231, 671 OPS. Cubs bullpen's been very good. Very good. 3.08 ERA, 1.18 whip, have converted 10 to 14. The Diamondbacks bullpen, 4.73 ERA, 1.39 whip, have converted 12 of 17. Here we go. Big Ragoo. Diamondbacks, Cubs.
This is a real interesting game here. Real interesting game. I tell you, not because of the wind, but just basically, I'm going to look to take advantage of some people that are, I'm not going to call them stupid, but maybe vulnerable in this spot here, okay? Let me tell you why. I'll give you 2 good reasons. Gellin, money, right? One of the best pitchers in the league, ERA, shutting down. I mean, if you look at the Cubs against Gellin, I don't see anything. I think maybe 1 run possibly against this lineup, against the smaller sample size. And Stroman is pretty good, and he's had some success against what I call the top 3 on Arizona's lineup. And Christian Walker is probably the hottest hitter they got now. Former Gamecock, by the way. I got to see him play his college career out in Omaha twice. Him and Jackie Bradley. Anyways, Marty, he's the stud too there. I mean, he's had some decent numbers against him, but their top 3 hitters haven't. The only one that's had any success is Marty against Stroman. So I love the fucking first 5 under in this spot here, man. I'm going to be all over that. That might be a 2-unit play for me. I don't care if the wind's blowing to Chicago, around to LA, and back to Chicago again. Give me the first 5 under, 4.5.
First 5 under 4.5. God. Yeah, I think that we know how important wind is at Wrigley, but we've also seen it much, much stronger than this. Much stronger than this.
Yeah, I think this is a pitcher's duel. It's probably not getting the notoriety because of Stroman being on coming off of COVID, but I don't see a 1-run differential making that up with from 8 to 9. Man, that's a big jump there, man. I'll take the full value on what I consider full value on the first 5 under 4.5, because Chicago can be spotty, and I know Stroman has had success against the Diamondbacks, and we know Gellin is on fire right now. So you tell me why I should back the over other than the win.
Yeah, and Diamondbacks don't hit righties. I do the Cubs. You're focusing on the first 5 to stay away from the Diamondbacks bullpen.
I think that's the best play today for me so far.
All right, Ragoo has moved on the first 5 under 4.5. That's available at -103 at Bookmaker. Thank you for sharing that with us, Billy. Brian, it's blowing out. Asking about the wind. It's blowing out, but 12 miles per hour at first pitch, and then it drops 3 miles an hour down to 9.1 for an hour and a half of the game, and then it comes back up to 11.5. Now, near the end of the game, like if this game goes past 10 o'clock, it goes up to 16.4 miles per hour. But here, we're just focusing on the first 5. Noli No's also on that first 5 under 4.5.
Yeah, great company right there. Couldn't ask for a better look, my man, a better look.
And CT Bay saying torched in both home starts. I don't know. I think this is appealing. I think it's very appealing, and I think I will roll with you guys. We have a 2-0 start for the Yankees. 2-0 start here. Did Zimmerman get out of the inning? Let me just get up on this quickly. No, God, no. It's not even close. Okay. All right, not a good start for Zimmerman.
That first inning over there at Baltimore?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did that yesterday. They went up 3-0 early, the Yanks did, and they kind of held back.
Then, yeah, no run scored after that.
Right.
Huh. Okay, now we have 2 out. All right, okay, let's move on. We have 1 game left, and then we'll be jumping on to NBA. Jose, if you could reach out to Wham and say that we'll be ready in 5 to 10 minutes. All right, let's go. Next up, 8:10 p.m. Eastern, Texas Rangers, 17-19, 7-7 on the road at the Houston Astros, 24-14, 9-4 at home. And Cashman says, don't worry, Hicks is up 2 for his last 34. Eric Jones also on the Cubs money line, by the way. Glenn, and first 5 under is the best way to look at this game. And he says, good, Ragoo. Yeah, I'm interested. And Noli knows Ragoo both on that side. Let's talk about this spot in Minute Maid in Houston. We have Glenn Otto going up against Framber Valdez. Otto has not looked good. And he was the key piece in the Gallo trade last year. Coming over from the Yankees organization, he's not looked good. And he's 26 years old. And it's make it or break it. And he seems to be breaking it. 1-1, 6.38 ERA, 1.42 whip, 18 in the third, 16 Ks, 10 walks, 4 home runs allowed. His last start was atrocious. It was at home against the Red Sox, 4 innings, 8 hits, 8 earned runs, 2 homers, 4 Ks, and 4 walks. Framber Valdez has been very good this year. 2-2, 2.93 ERA, 1.28 whip. He's coming off of shutting down the Nats in Washington. He went 7 2/3, 7 hits, 1 earned run, 6 Ks, 2 walks. Rangers are hitting just 228, 689 OPS versus lefties. Remember, they were smashing lefties to start the year, but that only lasted about 10 days. Astros versus righties, 240, 751 OPS. Rangers bullpen has been decent, 3.65 ERA, 1.27 whip. Astros bullpen has been lights out, 2.73 ERA, 1.13 whip. All right, let's just talk about the line history, where the cash is, and then hand it over to the Big Ragoo. We have the Rangers opening up plus 170. They're now at plus 175. So a 5 cent. The Astros have gone from minus 200 to minus 210. And then this total opened up at 8.5. And at 8:30 this morning, it moved to 8. Dropped a half run. We go over to the cash here. We have 10,491 tickets in. 82% of the tickets, 93% of the cash on the Astros. 42% tickets, 47% of cash on the under. Take it away, Big Ragoo. We have Kyle Hintley and $3,000 on Houston run line. TX Filer agreeing. Kyle Hintley makes big boy bets. Take it away here, Ragoo. Final game on the card, Rangers Astros.
Let me give a big shout out to Kyle for his action. You know what I mean? Big boy bets for sure. But there's no but on it. That's the only way I would look at this game, would have to be on the run line, even though I usually don't like backing teams at home on the run line, which we talked about in tie games, live betting opportunities with the run lines there. You lose that extra bet. But, man, I tell you what, Otto's been so bad, you might not need it. And I don't really want to lay the 140 on the first 5, laying a half a run here, which is what my book shows on this particular spot. But it has to be all one-way action. The public, the sharps, whichever way it's coming. I don't know if the sharps are the sharps on that, Jimmy. With the it's hard to read into that though with all the one way action coming in on this game. It probably is some sharp money there, but at the same time, I mean, he's been bad. He's been really bad, and it's going to get interesting because we know the Houston Bats woke up finally. We know they're top 3 in the lineup, and then Odorizzi, he went down, so that's going to kind of affect the rotation a little bit here. But man, this is only one way for me. It's a lean. I'm not going to get involved with it. The only look I would have here would be Houston laying the 1.5 at home. I think it's like minus 105, but that's just strictly a lean. I don't like betting 2-to-1s on favorites on big favorites here. But the Houston Bats are live. Rangers kind of went sleep, and the horrible numbers in Otto. It's got to be run line or pass.
Yeah, I get it. We'll talk about a couple different angles here. First off, our guy Ron Crawford spreadsheet play of the day is in. Ron Crawford is on Houston on the -1 line. Shout out to our guy Ron Crawford. Ron Crawford on the Astros on the -1 line.
What does that put that at, Jimmy? Like at -150 on the -1 roughly?
I will do the numbers here right now for you. I'll take them from Pinnacle. And let's see what we are dealing with. We have a -204 and a -101. So -204 and -101 gives us a -153.
Pretty close.
Isaiah B says, where do you find the -1 lines at? The books, almost all the books have taken them away from us because they work. So we have a -1 calculator given to us by Ron Crawford that we use. Julian Cesaro, you build your own -1s. There's a -1 calculator for you guys. My book doesn't offer it, but I build my own, and it works great for NHL too. So there's the -1 calculator. So you can do it yourself at any book you want. And also, the books that offer you -1s don't give you as good of a line as if you build it yourself. Whenever you build it yourself, you get 5 cents of value because, of course, they're trying to milk us. So, yeah, everybody just jump on that Z code system there. And if you have any questions, just DM me on Twitter. But it's pretty straightforward. If you're just looking at it right now, remember that for me, I use the risk amount, but remember, we use American odds. So switch it to American, and then everything's pretty straightforward there. Ron Crawford got a -147. Oh, Lamont Williams, max betting St. Louis on the run line. Wow. And then see, Billy Friedrich says bookmaker has -1, Astros at -170. So exactly. Joe Yerkovich says Astros bats were so hot, then Pavetta silences them. Maybe the Astros start an offensive slump. You got to be ahead of these things. I'll lean Astros team total under. Yeah. And
I agree with the being ahead of things, but man, I hate going up against hot teams. I hate betting against, betting on teams to lose if you think they're going to lose. That kind of shit doesn't sit well with me. But I'll tell you one thing I did look at was on the Astros bats versus Otto. I mean, they fucking smash them up, but they don't equate to a ton of runs. So be careful here, guys. Be careful. I think we're looking at maybe like 6, right around 5 runs when the team total is 4.5. So it's even, and it's only at -120. So sometimes it looks a little too good to be true. Look out.
What do you think of CT Baze's angle here? He says Rangers first 5. Says Texas traveling in state. Astros heading in from Boston. Astros might start slow. Then he says nobody expected the Rangers to sweep the Angels. Played Yankee stuff too. I'll keep taking the Rangers as a dog.
Well, you know what? You're getting at a plus run line at a plus price too, for I think it's like right around 120. So it's I usually like laying the half a run at a plus price, but getting a half a run against a dangerous team that maybe, I'm not going to say a little overvalued here. It might be a sharp play, possibly. It could be. I mean, we're not talking about, we're talking about a guy with a 9 ERA, and then the 4.5 that's built into what's their first 5 total? Do they have that? I don't have access to a first 5 total.
First 5 team total?
Yeah, I just got my book doesn't offer a full 5 team total. It just gives me like a full 5 total on the innings, up to the innings, which is 4, by the way. So I'm going to guess it's probably going to be 3. I'm going to say it's going to be 3.5 and 2.5 on the other side, maybe or 3
on the 5.
Yeah, what do you think?
The Rangers team total on the first 5 is
no,
1.5.
1.5, right?
And I'm saying to the under.
Wow,
heavily -118.
Yeah,
I guess you could, but I guess Framber has Rangers number. The Astros first 5 team total is at 2.5, slightly juiced to the over. The full total first half at Pinnacle's 4.5, juiced to the under, pretty heavy.
Yeah, see, mine's sitting at 4, juiced to the over, heavy. So, and under is like 4 plus 105. So I don't know. It's hard for me to figure that one out. But I would probably say the better bet, if I was to get involved with the first 5 and you like the Rangers, would have to be taking the half a run and hoping for the best at plus 120.
Yeah, I get it.
Or if you want to get real brave, the money line's like what, plus 180, plus 175? Good luck with that.
Okay, off this spot, but Jeffrey Morse says Astros team total under 4.5 versus Otto, even with travel, says he's passing. Okay, let's review all MLB action before we get on to NBA. We start with this. The game's already in play, but both Jose and I are on the under 8, and Ragoo's on that first 5 under 4 at plus 109. And we are 2 outs in the bottom of the first, and we got runners on. Not looking well. Let's get out of this inning here. Mateo's got a 0-2 count on Mateo. Then in the next spot, Ragoo is on the Padres at -104, and I did tail it. So I'm also with him there. Matty Ice taint play today is the Mets first 5 -0.5 at -120. Ragoo and I stayed off. Ragoo is on the Guardians at -127. Ragoo and I are both on the Royals first 5. He got +115. I got +110. Ragoo's on the Red Sox first 5 -0.5 at +125. Say hey play of the day is the Red Sox -115. And I will be moving on the first 5 under 4.5 in both the Mariners Red Sox game and the Diamondbacks Cubs game. Ragoo is on the first 5 under 4.5 -103 in the Cubs game. Spreadsheet play today is Houston -1, and Ragoo and I stayed off that spot. And Ron Crawford is adding the NHL spreadsheet play today, Colorado in regulation. And copy that here. All right, Ragoo, we love capping with you, my friend. And we have to ask you this before you go. Have you capped the Preakness?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up a little bit, and I completely went over my head. I was going to ask you, but here's my look on the Preakness. Just a very quick cap for me on that. I have capped it. I've listened to some people and watched some things. You know, the first thing I was thinking about was, you know, with the race at Epicenter ran a perfect derby and still came up a little short there. And I think Simplification ran a big race too. I think he ran a little bit of a longer race than Epicenter did by maybe like 50 feet or somewhere in that range. But he's going to be a dangerous horse. I said early on he's going to get better after when it came into the Triple Crown and later in the summer. So I'll look for him to get involved. Early voting is one. So, you know, with the Chad entry, you know, pulling him out of the Derby and getting him in that race. So I like those 3 horses: Simplification, Epicenter, and early voting is my 3 looks right there. But how I'm going to play it, I haven't settled in yet. But it's going to be I'm going to be looking to beat the favorite as usual.
Are you available to cap with us on Saturday?
Yeah, I'll be around Saturday. Yep.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I can't wait. We start at 10:15 a.m. Eastern, 7:15 a.m. out west. I'll have a giant bottle of Kraken. There it is, Preakness Stakes special on Saturday, all day, all night. Ragoo, we love you. We love capping with you. Follow our man Ragoo on Twitter at the Big Ragoo 62. Any last words for the chat, my man?
Always love the chat. The chat is fire. They make it happen for us, and let's beat the fucking book over the head today, guys. Let's smash him.
Let's get him. There he is, the Big Ragoo. We move over to NBA. And coming to us from Compton, California, our NBA expert, a man we love dearly, who's heating up at the right time. Please welcome Trot Wham to the show. Wham Bam, how are you, my guy?
I'm feeling good, bro. Feeling great.
Okay. I just read your note. It's all good. It's all good. Thank you for being ready to jump in at the last minute. Exciting stuff. First, we'd like to hear your thoughts on what happened last night. Warriors, Mavs. Warriors rolled up the Mavs, lit them up, and smoked them. And I don't think it really matters, in all honesty. Losing by 30 is no different than losing by 1. And they, Warriors had a big freshness advantage. And could the Warriors get fat and happy possibly for game 2? What are your thoughts here as we've seen the first game of the Western Conference Finals?
Yeah, I think Luka probably will be defended pretty well, bro. It looked like he was pretty locked in, and those guys making more shots, I think that's going to be tough there. But as you guys seen it, man, yeah, Luka is still going to be able to get those shots off. I really seen the fucking Andrew Wiggins shit clear, bro, and I just didn't pull the trigger on it. Pissed me off there, but I was happy that I at least got on the 5, bro. Got in on the 5 at Golden State, so I was at least, a little happy that I should have made it a 2-unit play like I thought it was, but I was in church pretty much most of the day. But other than that, man, shout out to Big Ragoo as well. I love the segment there in the Preakness. I will be dived in there, maybe on some yak, not cracking for me, but but for the most part, I think the next game is going to be a real competitive game. After a loss, Dallas is really good. Same thing with Boston today, so I think it will be a bounce back for both games.
Well, let's talk about this game here because it is fascinating. We've had all these different player personnel issues on the Celtics side. and we have Kyle Lowry's issues on the other side. And this Heat team, when I watch them on the floor, they're so much different than they were in the first half of the season, player personnel-wise. Just not what I expected, but what we are dealing with. Let's go. Game 2, Miami up 1-0. We're at FTX Arena in Miami, Florida. Boston played at the same pace in the regular season as they are in the playoffs. 97.26 in the regular season, 96.71 in the playoffs. Miami in the regular season played at a pace of 96.53 possessions a game. They've slowed it way down to 93.79 possessions a game. James Lill in the house. Great to see you. By the way, Tease, we got our man Tease in the chat. He's been absolutely murking WNBA. He's on Dallas Phoenix under 80.5. Dallas Phoenix under 80.5. WNBA look here. And look at this. Wow. Shock. So he must not have tested positive. Cashman 19 says Horford just upgraded to questionable. I mean,
that's what I like to hear. I like to hear that. I'm on the floor. I'm just letting y'all know. I'm on the +4 with the Celtics. I want to hit him money line as soon as he's announced in. I think that's going to be a big difference, bro. You need somebody else down low to stop there. Shout out to Jose. I didn't know you was a Celtics fan, but we did that show. I'm glad we did that show Tuesday. I found out, bro.
Well, you know what it is. Celtics by $1 billion. I don't understand how you can go from questionable to unlikely just by a test. The test results haven't come back yet, but it doesn't matter because the Celtics roll tonight.
Okay, let's talk about this big market move that would lead you to believe that the Celtics are very live. They open up at +5 at midnight yesterday. Within 10 minutes, it's 4.5. 19 minutes after that, it's 4. So it moves a full point in 29 minutes. So by 12:29 a.m. yesterday, it's 4. Then at 5:48 p.m., it moves to 3.5. At 10:40 a.m., it moves to 3. There has been buyback at 3.5. Wow. So that was during our show. It moved to 3. This total opened up at 205.5. It's up to 207. All right. And let's move over to the cash to see if this big market move towards the Celtics is also followed by the cash. 24,033 tickets in. 39% of the tickets and 58% of the cash is on the Miami Heat. So it doesn't make sense. So it is all player personnel based. It's not cash based.
No, not at all. But it just happened, though.
Derek White not going to be in the lineup. Billy Friedrich says Celtics will win without Derek White, and he won't be asked back. Heat completely dominated the second half of game 1. They win 118-107 overall. Butler, 41 points, 9 boards, 5 assists, 4 steals, 3 blocks. Can get whatever he wants, do whatever he wants. First question, can Marcus Smart slow him down because he's hurting? He missed game 2 because of quad injury, and then came this foot issue. Is he healthy enough? They are 5 wins, 8 losses without Smart in the lineup. Can he slow down Jimmy Butler?
Well, okay. So let's talk about the last game, man. Jimmy Butler had 18 field goal free throw attempts, bro. Is he going to average 15 free throw attempts in this series? Because at this rate, that's what he's looking like. You know what I mean? But that's game 1. Things change. Referees change as well. I think personnel is going to add in a little extra help, but are we going to see him get those same calls that he got last game? I mean, I hate to talk about this, especially with Jose in the background there. I know he's listening. Your team, bro, they just fucking complain about calls all fucking playoffs long. Last game, you seen Jason Tatum just pouting left and right, seeing that he wasn't getting the same calls that Jimmy Butler was getting. Jimmy Butler was getting certain calls. He's pouting and shit. First thing you do, man, you want to fucking show up the referee, bro. They're going to slap you on your wrist every fucking time. I think that has to get in their head. I mean, as much as Udoka has been telling us after press conferences and everything, like he's need them to stop bitching, saying this exactly, stop bitching about calls. You know what I mean? I think you got to get those guys back on that. So focused in, getting their guys back. I think they play a little bit better. I don't think Jimmy Butler's going to get 18 attempts from the free throw line, bro. I just don't see it again today. As far as Miami Heat, they played well, but it's only so far you could go with undrafted players, Miami. I'm sorry. You know, Strus and Gabe Vincent, they were great yet last game. Are they going to continue to do that night in, night out? I don't think so, especially with guys coming back. So I like the Celtics today. This was my game plan in the first place anyway. Take the Heat after the rest, having the rest advantage. Once things start to switch around, Udoka makes the right adjustments. Not seeing the call disparity as well, but I think that the Miami Heat may be able to show off what they've shown us in the first half of that game. They may not be able to have the same third quarter in this game. So I think that the Celtics do figure out a way to win. I do like hearing the Al Horford news. I was willing to take this risk without Al Horford. I took the +4, even without him being in the lineup. Him being in the lineup is only going to help. And then Marcus Smart, I expect him to be in the lineup. And I'm not really worried about him being hurt or anything. He's one of those guys that I would trust to be out there that's going to give it his all at least.
7 turnovers for Tatum in game 1. 7 turnovers. Now, he's 29 points, 8 boards, 6 assists, 4 steals. But he's got to be stronger. And Jaylen Brown talked about how they've got to be tougher on Jimmy Butler. Razor Sharp, top $300 NBA play. Butler over 33.5 points and rebounds at -115. So a lot of people in the chat thinking that Butler can't be stopped and won't be stopped. Do you agree with that, Dave?
I think, I mean, it's, like I said, bro, it's those 18 calls. And then along with what he was doing on the offensive glass, he had 5 offensive rebounds, bro. They got to be able to stop him from getting those putbacks. A lot of his points were coming in off of putbacks as well. So those are the things that I think they can capitalize on and get out the way. I mean, as far as one player coming in and stop him, Marcus Smart, I don't think that's going to happen, but he will be slowing down. A lot of those switches that was on Peyton Pritchard, they're going to be Marcus Smart out there, even though you're going to see more Peyton Pritchard. But like somebody said in the chat, I'd rather see him more than Derek White on the offensive side. So I'm definitely looking towards the Celtics, man. I think they still hold it down, bro. And as far as the slowing down Jimmy Butler, maybe you don't slow him down, but the other guys, the undrafted players, they're going to be slowed down.
And Razor says he will score 25 with his eyes closed. So you moved on the Celtics at +4.
At +4, yeah. I'll take the 3.5. We're getting 3.5, or I think you're getting 3s now because of the
3.5. No, we're
yeah, I get the 3.5. I'll take the 3.5.
Okay, let's lock you in here. We have Wham Bam moving on the Celtics at +3.5. That was at circa, and I got the +3.5 at -110. What can I get here? I'd love to know if I can get it better than that. We have, it's being pulled. It's being pulled from Pinnacle. So Horford must be in. +3.5 at -110 for Wham. From what I saw, it felt like when the Warriors were playing the Grizzlies, the Warriors felt like they could just turn it on whenever they pleased and take complete control at home. Whenever they wanted, just take it over. And that's what the Heat felt like in game 1. And I knew that I figured it would be a public play to back him in game 2. And then I wake up to this huge market move towards the Celtics. So is what you're saying here that the addition of Horford and Smart completely changes the dynamic of the game? And if this was played on a neutral floor with Horford and Smart, Celtics would be favored.
Yeah, I think you're exactly, or at least it'll be a pick 'em. You know what I mean? Or at least it'll be a pick 'em. So I think that definitely turns the tide. It's going to see a little bit more better rotations on defense and down low, bro. I think that's the play there.
All right, we have Wham moving on. The Celtics at +3.5 at -110. I've missed you, man. Great to share the screen with you. It's been a minute since we have done that. Good luck in the NBA Pub Hub today. And Wham, again, on the Boston Celtics +3.5 at -110 in game 2. And at this point, I don't have a move on this spot because the huge move towards the Celtics. I really felt like I was just going to move on the Heat, and then now I think I just stay off. But I will be betting the Dallas Mavericks on the money line in game 2 tomorrow.
I like that look live, bro.
I'll watch what if the market starts moving towards. I'll just watch the market and decide when to bet that. But it's
already a bigger spread too. I think it's already a bigger spread, so it's gonna
6.5.
Yeah.
6.5. Wham Bam, thank you so much for coming in off the bench when we needed somebody. Any last words for the capper supporting the show, my man?
Man, let's keep killing, bro. Let's cash today, man.
There he is. Celtics plus 3.5 for Wham Bam. Razor Sharp Pick says those are Trot Wham's kids. He makes them watch the Lakers reruns before nap time. So that's the issue there. All right, let's review all action here on the show. We're going to start with NHL. In NHL, Mr. Gogster on Barkov to score 2 points or more at plus 146. He's on the Panthers in regulation, and he's on Verhaeghe. Carter Verhaeghe, 1 point at minus 128. In the final game, Colorado St. Louis, he's on O'Reilly to score a point and no goal in the first 9.5 minutes. Now, you guys know that I've got futures on 2 teams. Well, I did have some Stars futures that are gone now, but I had futures on 2 teams, and that is the Avalanche and the Lightning. So I don't feel the need to pick a bet aside here, but I am on the under 6.5 at minus 105 very confidently in Lightning, Florida, and I'm coming off sweeping the board 3-0 plus 3.05 units yesterday. So we move. Oh, and spreadsheet play today from Ron Crawford is Colorado in regulation. And we heard DX Filer, who is a professional gambler, move all over the Avalanche in every conceivable way. And says that Bennington is in for a long night. Then in MLB, this under 8 is not looking good at all. But the Padres is looking good. Padres, we have 2 guys on in the first with 1 out. A good sign, but not good there. Not good. And Razor Sharp Pick says the Heat are winning it all. It was confirmed when Carter picked up that beautiful hat behind Jimmy on the stream. You know what? If the Heat win the championship and you pick up 10K, Razor, it's a celebration for all of us. So I would love it if you pick up that 10K. Where is that ticket, by the way? Keep an eye on it. Tell me you know where it is. Our guy Razor Sharp Picks put $500 on the Heat right in the beginning of the year. Okay. Then in MLB, Taint play today's Mets first 5 minus a half. Ragoo's on the Guardians at minus 127. Both Ragoo and I are on the Royals first 5. He got plus 115. I got plus 110. Ragoo is on the Red Sox first 5 minus a half plus 125. And say, hey, play today's Red Sox full game at minus 115. I'm going to move on the first 5 under 4.5 in both the Red Sox game and the Cubs game. Ragoo's also on that first 5 under 4.5. There's my guy Millsy in the house, MMA locker room. We're on Crawford spreadsheet play today's Houston minus 1. And then Wham Bam is on the Celtics plus 3.5. We have a big show Friday, huge show. But most importantly, Saturday, baby, Preakness. The Freakness is happening in Pimlico and Charm City. And our guy Von Polo will be there. I'm excited. I'm pumped up. Pumped up. Jose has Sharpie as his special guest today on Say Hey Plays of the Day. And Jose is heated up. 5 in 1 day, Jose. Spectacular work.
Yeah, sure. It's going to be like a quick 30 minutes with Sharpie, I guess. So if he wants to come, more than welcome to. It's going to be fun. I can't wait. By the way, you want some good news and bad news?
Yeah, start with the bad news.
Bad news is 2-2 now in Orioles Yankees.
Yeah.
But the good news is 2-2. I don't know if you moved on the Orioles. I forgot already.
No, I did not. Max Swelly, we're all day, all night for the Preakness. We start at 10:15 a.m. Eastern. We're all day, all night for the Preakness.
Well, then I have no good news for you, unfortunately. But I thought you were on the Orioles. But 2-2 in that game now. And we'll win, though.
Dennis says this must be the fastest show of 2022. Yes, you guys, you have your afternoon free.
Actually, I said before, I was like, it's under 2 hours? Nah, still not under 2 hours. Oh, wow.
I like what we've done today. I expect a winning day from us. I think we did some good work today. And then most importantly, though, Dennis, who are you moving on in the Preakness? Because I think differently. I think that I think Epicenter is just going to win this race. I don't know about romp because I know what Ragoo's talking about. Simplification is a tough horse, but early voting, I just think that we can't trust those numbers from the Wood Memorial. I think they're skewed. And we know that now there's a pace. Now, early voting's not going to have the pace to himself.
No way.
So, and then I just want everybody and their mama to bet on the Philly, the spectacular Philly, Secret Oath.
Spelled with an H or an F? I don't know. I forgot. The Phillies spelled weird. I always thought it was Philly. So, and it's
No,
not spelled like that.
No, it's not.
Nope.
No, it is not. It's Filly. Filly. All right, we have a huge day tomorrow. Yeah, I agree, Dennis. He wins for fun, and it's just I just think it's a single. It's an absolute single for me.
Mm-hmm.
And why I don't know if there's no point in trying to figure out who comes second because the Exacta's not going to pay shit with Epicenter on top.
So we're loading up on Epicenter this weekend, huh?
But only in multi-race wagers, a single him, pick 3, pick 4. He's going to go off at even money, and so there's not a lot of money to make unless you can maybe some tries with him on top. Maybe that's what I'll do. Some tries with him on top. There you have it. Jose Bouquet, have a great show. Don't forget, we have our guy Sharpie with the Balking Dead prize picks. 3:10 p.m. NBA pop up at 4 p.m. And Jose Sehe plays today at 5:30 p.m. Yeah, Razor, Al Horford questionable tonight. Al Horford's going to play tonight. That's what's going to happen. Ooh-wee. Going to be a fun night of sports action. Then we have a giant Friday card. But you know what I'm doing right now? I'm going to go sit on that couch. I should do some stats work because I'm behind on the stats, but I just want to bet the couch.
You don't have a couch in that hot place. You don't have a couch.
I do have a couch.
No way.
Yeah. I'm sitting on that couch and I'm going to work. Sammy, I love you guys. I love all you guys. Thank you so much for your support here. Razor, Sammy, Dennis Garcia, Rodney Barton, Max Swedley, Dennis Garcia, Jared TG, Bananas and Grapes, Millsy, Rodney Barton, Mark Schillingberg, Officer of 50 Ayash Yala, D. Jenkins, Michael Robertson, Joshua Nolet, Jay Peasy, Ashram Mendez, Kyle Hintlian. Thank you guys all so much. Cheshire Cat, Tease. And again, Tease is on the Wings. Mercury, first half under 80.5. Also, full game under 162.5. And Mercury, first half minus 1.5. And he's just destroying. I don't know if you're following him on Twitter. You should, at Parlay Tease. And, if he keeps destroying like this, this is a show about making money. We should get him on the show. I love my guy Tease out of Philly. Respect. Let's get that cash. Huge day tomorrow. But don't forget the Preakness on Saturday. Let's say. A los doctores.